Hello, hello there, hello there, hello there, hello there, hello there, hello there. Welcome back to the Random Show. Welcome back to the Random Show. Welcome back to the Random Show. Random Show with your host Agostino Zinga. What's going on, people? How you doing? How you feeling? How you doing? You feeling? Big up everybody for tuning in. Big up everybody for tuning in. Today it is a random show. Today it's a random show. Daytime session. Not part of the fucking daily thing. Don't worry. It's not part of the daily marathon. It's a daytime session. Not part of the daily marathon. It's the daytime session. What's going on, people? How you doing? How you feeling? How you doing? How you feeling? How you doing? Random show episode number 484. Random show episode number 484. 484. We're back, we're cracking, and we're ready to flip and go. I don't have long with you guys. I don't have long. I have about 2 hours. Maybe one more. I need to finish this stream and then head up to the gym, and then I've got to go to I'm going out for a bit, and I'll be back later on this evening. So I've got about 2 hours with you, 2 hours in the daytime. So because it's a daytime stream and because I'm feeling nice and generous, I've opened the chat for everybody to get involved with. I've opened the chat. The chat is not members only. The chat is free for everybody to use, everybody to jump in there, say what you want to say. Racial slurs accepted, you know? Racial slurs accepted and encouraged. Say what you want in the flipping chat. We're here, we're ready to rock. But of course, we're still trying to hit our 500 member goal by the end of the 31 days. We're trying to hit 500 members. We're not really close to halfway, to be fair. We're nowhere close to halfway, but we're moving. We're nowhere close to halfway, but we're moving. So if you feel like joining, if you want to gift the membership, if you want to join yourself and become a member and get access to member-only streams, make sure you click the link in the description down below. This show will be the only show, I think, in a week. Yeah, this will be the only show in a week where the chat will be open to everybody. Every other show will be closed chat. So if you want to be involved, if you want to participate, if you want to have your ha-ha-hee-hees in the stream chat, we got one of the best stream chats here known to man. If you want to participate in that, make sure you're a member. Join and become a member. Membership start for as little as $1. I priced it similarly to my Patreon. So there's a $1 tier, there's a $5 tier. Link it below in the description. Get involved. Access to member-only streams, member-only videos, member-only chats, all that good shit. You know how we roll. Today's going to be 2 hours long. 2 hour long live stream. I may go for another hour to make it free. Depending on whether or not we hit our little goal there in the stream chat. But let's see how we go. 2 hour stream so far, maybe 3. Let's see how we go, because I've got my gym stuff ready to go. I need to get a pump on. in the gym. So we'll see how it goes. I might just sacrifice the other 3 and go work out because that's needed. But let's jump into it. Number one topic to go through. Number one topic I want to react to quickly is Revenge of the Cis. Revenge of the Cis have their Patreon kaputi. Revenge of the Cis Patreon is caca. Done. Finito. Now, I don't know about you guys. If some of you guys make content, if you just consume content, but I'm sure some of you guys know that Patreon is used by content creators as a place to kind of, post and, engage with fans and kind of behind the paywall. But it's, I think, mostly so you can kind of get away with saying things you couldn't get away with saying maybe on traditional platforms. Or if you want to watch certain things, you can only watch them on Patreon. So you put them on Patreon. But usually, from what I've led to understand, it's not an easy place to get banned off. I'm not going to lie. It's not that easy to get banned off. I think it's easier to get banned off Twitch than it is to get banned off Patreon. They're quite lenient with a lot of things because it's kind of only a small little niche kind of community. It's not really going out anywhere. It's behind a paywall, So it really does make me wonder, what the hell were these guys saying on their Patreon that got their Patreon nuked? Like, what is it? This is one of the guys, I forgot his fucking name, from Revenge of the Cis, talking about their Patreon getting nuked. Absolutely crazy news, man. Ah, shit. Why is it not playing? Why is it not playing? Why is it not playing? For some reason, it's not playing. Bear me on a second there. It wasn't playing there for a minute. Oh, that's why. That's why.
So what happened? Because I don't know what happened. I went to go set up the Patreon stream as we do every Wednesday and Friday. Patreon and local stream. Locals work just fine. Everything is set up. It's ready to go at 4 p.m. But Patreon, well, they deactivated our account. They sent us an email saying this is the Patreon trust and safety team. Your Patreon features material fall outside the community guidelines and it has been removed. Promoting, normalizing, providing instruction on advice about coordinating or otherwise glorifying self-harm or self-injury is prohibited on Patreon. If you were some, so you know, blah 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 blah. Your typical stuff. And then again.
Okay. All right. So they did give them links. Okay. So they're acting like they don't know, but Patreon did give them a breakdown of precisely why they banned them. Right? It says it right there. Locals episode number 226 and Locals episode number 225. So I'm assuming they must have said something dicey in those two episodes specifically. Because you don't get that on YouTube. On YouTube, they don't tell you shit. You get banned, you get demonetized, but they don't tell you shit. They don't tell you jack shit. So the fact that they said this, to me, lets me know that they told them, you know? So you can't plead ignorance. You can't pretend like you don't know. They told you right there.
The two episodes, which was the last two that we did. And then it also said, we define, and also it said, in addition, our guidelines, behavior, language, or creative works aiming to harass or bully individuals are prohibited on Patreon. Although we welcome diverse viewpoints and debates, there is no room for hate speech. We define hate speech as serious attacks against persons or groups based on the following characteristics. And we go through that down the line of the typical reasons that they give whenever they ban an account. Now, we've been on Patreon 8 years. We've been on Patreon for 8 years, and we've never had an issue. I don't know what the issue is.
Damn, man. Damn. 8 years. And Patreon couldn't just reach out and say, hey, oh, that's his name, Royce. By the way, big up, Flimsy. That's his name, Royce. Royce and Merch. You know what? I used to love Regional Assist. I used to really enjoy it. When was it good? Was it good around the pandemic? Or was it even good in the first place? People in the stream chat, let me know. Was Avengers Assist actually good, or were we just starved for content and looking for something to watch during the pandemic? Because I used to watch it quite often. I didn't watch Nightwave, I didn't watch Daywave, but Avengers Assist I actually enjoyed. It was kind of like Kino Casino before Kino Casino, but mostly for news. You know, they didn't really go into the whole locale thing too much. It was mostly news topics and stuff. But I really used to enjoy Avengers Assist. They didn't just fell off a cliff. I'm not too sure because of Merch turning into a locale or Royce going a bit weird with the whole like cucking thing and whatever poly thing he does. I don't know. Whatever stuff he gets up to. I don't know what's happening in there. But something happened to the show where it kind of started falling off and I stopped watching it. Before I even found out the Reddit, like I didn't even know Merch was a locale or seen like that on the Reddits and the Kiwi farms. I didn't even know. I used to just play in the background. Like, I didn't used to mind having Avengers Assist playing in the background. Did my dishes, did my chores and shit. And then sometime, I don't know what, I just stopped like vibing with it. I stopped watching it. And I guess everybody else kind of felt the same way. Maybe I stopped watching it when they moved to Rumble, actually, weirdly enough. Maybe it wasn't me. Maybe they forced me to stop watching it because I think they moved their show to Rumble, if I'm not mistaken. Because they had some sort of like Rumble exclusive deal. A lot of people were getting some good streaming deals during the pandemic, and I'm sure they got a decent deal with Rumble, and that made them want to move. And I think because they moved over there, they were kind of out of sight, out of mind type of thing. They just kind of moved into other things. But it used to be a good show, man.
Is obviously we tell jokes if you watch the show. I mean, some of you might not think we're funny, but they are jokes. And that was a nice chunk of our income doing this. But more than anything, I'm making this video because I have no way to communicate with the patrons because I have no access to the account to their email, so I can't even let them know what happened. So if you are watching this and you want to watch today's episode, and I guess moving forward, the locals episodes, I'm going to post a link below, but just go to our locals. Sign up at $7 a month. Actually, with locals, it's pretty nice. If you do an entire year, you get it for $70. Look, guys, I don't want to do this. And by the way, if you signed up recently for Patreon, don't worry. They're giving all those people a refund. They said that in the email. You're getting a refund, so you're not getting double charged or anything. I just wanted to get this out there. I wanted you guys to at least know what happened. That way you're not like, where the hell is today's show? I mean, I'm sure when you were going to the Patreon page, you were seeing that it was not there, but I appealed it. I don't know if it's actually going to do anything. My guess is probably not, but that is what it is. So, I mean, we've been through this. If you followed the show long enough, you know how many times we've been screwed off of YouTube, off of Twitter.
Some people say they never got screwed off YouTube. Some people say it was all a lie. Some people say that they pretended they got screwed off YouTube to kind of buy into the whole cancel culture thing, and then moved. I think the Kino Casino guy said that. I think their theory was that they never actually got banned off of YouTube. They made it seem like they got banned off of YouTube to rally the troops, to make it seem like they were victims of cancel culture. And then they moved over to Rumble, hoping the YouTube people will be galvanized and encouraged to support them on YouTube. Scummy, 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 scummy shit.
Off of Facebook, off of YouTube again, so on and so forth. So, I mean, we're just trying to survive, man. So if you want to watch today's show, that's how you do it. It's $7 a month. It's on locals. I'm really sorry if you signed up on Patreon recently. I really am, but there's really nothing we could do about it. But if you like the show, that's how we do it, and we'd like to keep doing it. So
I don't know, man. You could do something about it. You could do something about it. If you got some money in the bank, you could just offer the people who recently signed up to Patreon, all the patrons, a free membership to whatever locals thing you're going on for the month at least. A free trial for the month or a couple of months, you know? You could extend that olive branch. Like, hey, if you recently signed up to Patreon, let us know via email and we'll hook you up with a free little thing. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Or just collect the email somehow. Collect the emails and then just give people free fucking memberships to the locals and then hope some of those free memberships convert to paid. You could do that, but you know, maybe that's too far, too gone. But yeah, they've been banned off Patreon. Again, like, I don't know what you have to say to get banned off Patreon, but they must have been wiling on there. They must have been absolutely wiling. Yo, big up the stream chat too, by the way. Sorry for abandoning you or ignoring you. Feel bad I should have went to the march. Word on road is it see Kirk was a delight. It's hilarious. Big up homeless cat. Big up Queso's Moses Wagwan GG. Hello AZ, I'm here. Apologies for begging for time sets. Nah, don't apologize. Don't be stupid. I've got to put those in there myself. I just get lazy. Don't apologize for that shit. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Big up Addy Z. UPS Bigs in the morning. Nice. Big up AZ. Big up Strange Cloud. Appreciate you. Big up Addy Z. Wakey Bakey. Love to hear it. Big up Mr. Still Your Girl. Yo, welcome back to Flyby. Yeah, we're here. #1 background listening podcast stream in the world. Put me on in the background while you're fucking changing your kids, while you're fucking looking after your pets, while you're cooking, while you're wiping your ass, while you're footing, while whatever you're doing, put me on the background on the best background listening experience, hands down, bar none. Big up Fetty Wap. Big up Abe Martinez. Appreciate you, brother. And big up Flinzy Greenberg too. Big up Jose Lopez. I see you. Big up, big up, big up. Oh, and big up God's favorite too. Yeah, you covered it already, God's favorite. In the I think a couple of streams ago. I got to add timestamps, but I covered that whole Blasi Yuri thing already. When it dropped, actually. I covered it when it dropped. It may be the stream on the Saturday. Maybe it's a Saturday stream of last week. I don't know, but I covered it already, one of those streams. I covered it already. I also went to check out quickly why these guys got taken off of Patreon, because I'm confused. I'm not really tapped in that much, right? No, I know. I know they dropped a new video, but I reacted to it. They dropped it. It wasn't a new video. It's from a stream. They were speaking on the stream about it, and I reacted to what they said in the stream. I already reacted to it, my friend. What did they say in their Reddit? What have they said in their Reddit about what they do? I'm curious to see here. The Reddit people, what did they say? Because they have a better handle on this, right? The most Reddit people know what's going on. This person says, it's karma for taking away the Friday show. Okay. Instead of doing an extra for subscribers, they just take away shows that subscribers would have access to as a subscriber or non-subscribers. These two are the laziest streamers and expect the most. They wonder why Flecker's Talks is doing better numbers, has constant sponsors and more subs. It's abundantly clear Royce is trying to copy Flecker's format and it's not working. The show is dead in the water. Who the fuck is Fleckers? So, according to the Reddit, they're trying to basically get more Fleckers. Is it Fleckers Talk? Who's Fleckers Talk? Who's that? Who the fuck is Fleckers? Okay, Fleckers has a show. Does Fleckers have a Patreon too, I'm assuming, right? This is, oh shit, good. Look at the numbers on fucking Instagram. Big numbers there. Nearly 600,000 followers. Okay. Big up Fleckers on that one. So what are you saying here? Hassan and Destiny are making the real cause of violence. Let's play. What's this about?
Trans people, these people in these communities, they're not necessarily watching MSNBC. They're probably more watching streamers and online. And we have a little bit of a Hassan Piker supercut.
You need to be gutting them. You need to be shanking these motherfuckers and letting their intestines just ride on stage. What the fuck is this shit, man? Slice them up.
It's hurt poor people that they can afford housing in Berkeley. I don't know how that works.
My understanding is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all.
Yeah, kill them. Kill those motherfuckers and murder those motherfuckers in the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods, dude.
You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed.
It's kind of wild what the things Hassan Piker says, though, isn't it? The things he gets away with because he's left leaning. Like, if a right wing fucking influencer said exactly the same thing that he says, Jesus Christ, bro. And I also don't know why he says those things anyway. You can get your message across without resorting to that type of rhetoric, but I don't know what I'm talking about. So this Fleckers guy, does he have a Patreon? I want to see how he's set up. What does it say he's copying? What is he copying? I want to see what this guy's copying. Merch. Is there a Patreon here? No, there's not a Patreon. What is there here? Questions, media, YouTube, talks, merch, based mug. Okay.
Do you know how many states make up?
So he's a guy that does things, right? And they're trying to copy him. Okay, fair play. Was it there? So it looks like, according to this guy, he's got the most upvotes, that they weren't trying to record extra content, which is what you have to do. Like, even I'm finding it hard keeping up with my Patreon. But in terms of making the Patreon viable and worthwhile for people, you have to create more. That's all it is. There's no other way around it. You have to create more. You can't just take what you already do and put it on Patreon. You have to create an extra show to make it worthwhile for people to have a reason to sign up in the first place, which makes complete sense, right? If you're going to sign up to a fucking streaming platform, you don't sign up because they're just copying and pasting what you get for free on their platform. It's got to be a specific one for itself, which is why I don't really get people who kind of multi-stream. You're better off having your dedicated stream for YouTube, a dedicated stream for Twitter, and for Kick, like doing separate shows. But obviously that requires you doing more work, quote unquote. It's not that hard what they do. They sit down, read articles on the read news articles. You can do that extra work. So if they've lost their Patreon partly because of their laziness, that obviously is deserved, but I don't think so. I think it's probably because something they said, I'd imagine. I thought they were loyal to Locals and stopped uploading on Patreon. Guess they have no choice now. Okay, so Locals is another platform that's kind of like Patreon. I guess I'm assuming Locals is probably like a right-wing Patreon, right? Probably, I'm assuming. It's never been more dangerous time to be a comedian. Abandoned ship. Yeah, okay. Fair play, man. Fair play. Fair play to them. They are now banned. They are now banned off of fucking Patreon. Somehow they've managed to get banned off of Patreon. Fucking crazy. Moving on. Stephen A. Smith revealed exclusively on his show on SiriusXM that Molly Qerim has now left ESPN. She left abruptly. I think she was meant to leave at the end of the year. She announced she was meant to leave at the end of the year, but then I think she brought forward her leaving to like yesterday or whatever. And Stephen A. Smith got on air and he looked really fucking sad. He looked really cut up about Molly leaving. He looked really sad. Let me play the video for you of Stephen A. Smith announcing that his co-host and his colleague has now left ESPN.
Last night, she abruptly resigned as the host of the show. And to say that I'm quite sad about it is an understatement. Molly is a friend. Molly is a co-worker. Molly is somebody that I have leaned on many occasions in the past.
I bet you have. I bet you have, brother.
On the show for the last 10 years. And a lot of times some of these things happen and it's just uncomfortable to see. The details, quite frankly, are none of y'all business. But it's not as if I know all the details.
The details are none of your business, but I don't know all the details. Okay, brother. Okay then. All right. Makes sense.
It's a contract negotiation that was going on. ESPN certainly did not want to lose her. But in the event, in the end, rather, she made a decision to walk away from the show effective immediately, as you see from.
So her story there. After much reflection, I've decided it's time to close this incredible chapter and step away from First Take. Hosting the show has been one of the greatest honors of my career. Every morning I had the privilege of sharing the desk with some of the most brilliant, passionate, entertaining voices in sports. She doesn't mention Stephen A. Smith by name. And with all of you, the best fans in the world. Stephen A. Smith, legitimately, he's acting or speaking like she's dead. When she's not. She's not dead, by the way. He looks very, very sad. I know it's sad when, like, you know, when a colleague leaves, especially someone that you like, but it feels like his work wife left, you know? Or maybe somebody that he had, you know, long harbored some feelings for. Very, very strange. Very, 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 very strange. I hope to God, I hope and pray to God, this isn't some, like, you know, this isn't some fucking Shannon Sharp thing. And she's not leaving because of some, you know what I mean? I'm hoping it's not that. I'm hoping Stephen A. Smith isn't involved in some, you know what I mean, into some fucking shaky shit with her. Maybe some harassy shit, some whatever shit, some essay shit. I hope it's not. I hope it's not. Hope it's just her leaving, expanding her horizons. But it does smell a bit funny. Because I remember reading an article or seeing an article online that said that she was planning to leave ESPN at the end of the year. I'm sure I read it somewhere. Because again, I'm not really too familiar with First Take. I don't really watch these things. But I'm familiar who she is. I see their clips go viral. So I do remember I was on a feed one time seeing a headline that said Molly Qerim was meant to leave at the end of the year. So I don't know what's happened. Something's happened. Something has happened. I don't know what, but something has happened that's made her want to leave sooner. But I'm hoping, really hoping and praying it's nothing to do with Stephen A. Smith being a creep. And it's just some like, you know, hey, I want to leave, explore different things, blah-de-blee, blah-de-blah. I hope that's the case because if it is to do with the Shannon Sharp thing, man, that's going to be so fucking sad. But let's actually see what has she posted anything else on Instagram? I'm just curious to see if she's posted anything else on Instagram. Let's go to Instagram. Jesus Christ, 743,000 followers. And she's what? What is she, like a sports anchor, journalist type of person? 743,000 followers is insane, innit? For someone that just hosts a show. But I guess, you know, when you're an attractive lady, things change differently for you. But yeah, we got nothing so far. What really happened? People are saying in the comments. First Take won't be the same without you. Okay, fair play. We'll miss you, Molly. If anyone disagrees with me or not, but Molly is 10 times finer than Joy Taylor. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, man, interesting, isn't it? Big up Molly. Big up Blood Clot Molly. Big up Blood Clot Molly.
Did you miss me?
New deal at ESPN. A lot of announcements for you, and we're so grateful to have you back here with us as a teammate.
Yes, I'm happy to be here. Just getting a phone call for reinsurance.
Okay, fair play. Fair play. There she is, living her life, having a good time, right? Big up her, big up her, big up her, I guess. But gee, yeah. Can you blame Stephen A? Can you fucking blame Stephen A? Huh? Can we blame him? Can we blame Stephen A for maybe being a little bit cut up? That he's not going to see her every morning. Even on just some like platonic shit, you get me? Just as a nice kind of visual, you know? Just as, when you're in the morning, you have to go to work and talk about fucking, I don't know, some running back and some fucking quarterback again. Maybe looking over to your desk and just seeing that, you know, seeing that material. It's like, it makes life worth living, you know? She doesn't even have to touch you. She doesn't have to be interested in you. Just as something to look at. You're like, Jesus Christ. You know? Gets up to go to the toilet from time to time. You're like, God damn. I feel like that's what he's missing. Stephen A. Smith is missing the visual delights that he was getting from being sat next to fucking Molly all of this fucking time. Absolutely crazy.
Or my OCD's kicking in watching that beautiful hat on the dirty floor. Or that you took the hat off because this man told you it's all part of the fit.
Well, Molly, it is all a part of the fit, but it's also important for people to see my face because this is premeditated. Stephen A., I do not just wake up this way and look like this. So he's right. I have to agree with them. The hat
That's
is not so
unfortunate
much
because I do.
The hat's so much not taken away from the suit. It's taken away from the face too, Stephen A. Come on, man.
The thing about it is, who is Molly to say something like that? You know, you ever see her with you ever see her with some big hat on, hiding her face? No. The only time she put on a big hat was when we was at the national championship game, and I made her put on that big, gigantic hat.
I wear a hat every single.
Stephen A. love that girl, bro. Stephen A. love that girl, bro. Stephen A. love that girl. Uncle Steve loved that girl. He loved that girl. Let's be fair. You could tell. Oh, by the way, big up her Attica cargoes. I'm a little bit gay for knowing this. I'm a little bit gay for recognizing where her cargoes are from. But big up Attica. Or is it Attica? Big up Attica. Attica, how you pronounce it? Big up Attica, how you fucking pronounce it? I'm pretty sure those are their famous cargoes that they make. I'm pretty sure. Really fucking nice cargoes. I'm a bit gay for knowing that. But you know me. I know my fashions. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Oh, what's happening here? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Bear with me a second here. What's happening? Am I okay? Yeah, I'm okay, right? Yeah, I think I'm okay. Oh, I think I might crash in a minute. Don't know what's happening on my computer screen. It's got a bit woo. It's gonna be pausey. Bear with me a second. Bear with me a second as it fucking unloads. It should be okay. I've got many windows open. I think that's probably why. Let's hope it's okay. Bear with me a second here. 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 What's happening? Why is it doing this? Okay. So is it working? Are we working? Oh, we are. It's my fault. It's my fault because I've got too many windows open. That's probably why. I've got too many windows open. So please bear with me. Please bear with me as this fucking goes back where it needs to go. But I'm pretty sure I've got too many windows open. Too many windows open. Bear with me a second here. Oh, for fuck's sake, what happened? Are we not working at all? Shit. Bear with me a second. Here. Maybe I'll close it. Maybe that works if I close the laptop screen. Is that still working maybe? Hold on, let's see. Pick. Come on, son. Work for me if you don't mind. Work for me. Come on. Bear with me one second. Bear with me one second. I'm gonna close down some windows. Once everything gets nearly, I'm gonna close some windows because I think I'm effing myself over by having these windows open. Bear with me one sec. Hopefully you can hear me. Can you hear me? Hopefully you can. Hopefully you can still hear me. Hopefully you can. Bear with me here. Is it going? Are we good? I think we're good, right? I think you can hear me. I think you can see me. Can you see me? If you can see me, let me know in the stream chat if you can see me. Let me know in the stream chat. If you can hear and see me, let me know. If you can hear and see me, let me know in the stream chat. That'd be much appreciated. Let me know if you can hear and see me. I don't want to have to shut down the stream. Let me just quickly do give me a second. Display capture. Let me take that off. Yeah, I think I've got too many windows open. Bear with me one second as I close these windows down, right? I've got to close these windows down. So just bear with me 2 secs. Bear with me 2 seconds as I close these windows down. I've got too many tabs open. Too many windows open. I got like windows with like 64 tabs open, you know what I mean? Not even like 30, like 64. I think it's a part of my ADHD. It's a part of my ADHD diagnosis that I must have so many tabs open at one time. Fucking wild, bro. Fucking wild. Bear with me a sec here as it loads, and then we're going to continue on, okay? Bear with me a second over here. Yep, encoding overload. I've got encoding overload message. I've got an encoding overload message. Jesus Christ. Only me. Only me. Only fucking me could do that. Only fucking me. Encoding overload. Encoding overload. Okay, is it going now? Bear with me a second here. What's happening? Hopefully it's not doing crazy shit. bear with me a second here as it just kind of does it, what needs to be done. Hold on a second here. Come on, bro. Load. It's just taking some time to load, but we should be fine in a minute. Bear me 1 second. Bear me a couple of minutes. Bear with me a couple of minutes as I get this shit fucking loaded. I just need to close some of these screens. I need to close some of these windows. I'm waiting for the rainbow wheel of death to stop. Once the rainbow wheel of death stops, I'll close these windows. We can continue on. Big up the stream chat though. Big up the stream chat. 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 Big up the fucking stream chat. You get me? Big up the stream chat. Let's just wait for it to load. Waiting 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 for it to load. Come on, you piece of shit. Come on, you piece of shit. It's nothing to do about my Wi-Fi. Is fine. Nothing to do with my Wi-Fi, by the way, Keto. My Wi-Fi is fine. It's just that I opened too many windows on my computer as per usual. I opened too many windows, too many tabs, and here I am. So I kind of need to wait for these tabs to fucking, or this windows to load, so I can close some of them and then we can continue on, yeah? Bear with me 2 seconds, bear with me 2 secs, bear with me 2 secs. Bear with me 2 secs! Come on now, load. Is it loading? It's not loading, is it? Come on, bro. Help me out here. I just want to close a window. That's all I want to do. I just want to close a window. I just want to close one window before we begin. Before we continue, I want to close one window. Bear with me. 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 Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. Is it done? Hold on, 1 sec. What's happening here? Oh, it's not even letting me do the fucking thing. Ah. Okay, I think I might have to end it and come back. Shit. Damn it. Bear with me a second here. 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 Mix, can you hear me? Can you hear me? What's happening here? What's happening here? What's happening here? Hopefully you can hear me. Come on, computer. It's not even letting me load anything. What's going on right now? Maybe I might have to fucking just, yeah, maybe I might have to close this. I might have to do it. Oh no, it's there now, right? Are we here? No, we're not. Fucking hell, what's happening right now? What the fuck is happening right now? Can you? Okay, it's loading. I can hear it a little bit. I heard a little bit there. Yo, I have too many windows open, man. That's the reality.
Get it together, a new laptop nonetheless, Chin Jr.
Chin Jr. is hilarious. Come on now, 1 sec. Is it working? Okay, there we go. We're back. I think we should be back in a minute. Bear me a sec. I think we should be back in about 2 seconds. Fucking hell, what's happening right now? Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Bear me a sec. 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 Why is it happening? Why is it not like doing so? Okay, so if I do this and I do that, why is it not letting me just close it? Yeah, there, boom. Close it, right? Why can't I just close quickly? I don't know what's happening here. Okay. Bear me a sec, bear me a sec, bear me a sec. Damn, man, what's happening? It's not even letting me do anything. Okay, cool, there we go. Are we down yet? Are we down? Cool. Okay, cool. I think we should be going soon. 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 I think we should be. Come on now, come on now. Here we go, here we go. Okay, cool. I think we should be back up and running in a little while. Bear me 1 second here, but I think we should be back up and running in a little while. Okay, cool. Fuck, man. I pushed this machine to its fucking edge, I think. I pushed this machine to its fucking edge. Ay, ay, ay. Come on, bro. If this doesn't restart in a minute, I'll restart the stream. But bear with me a second. If it doesn't restart straight away, I'll restart the stream. But it should be fine now. It should be fine now, right? It should be fine. Is it good? I don't know. It should be okay now. I don't know why it's not letting me do this though. But it should be okay now, hopefully. Fingers crossed it should be okay now. It should be okay. Fingers crossed. Okay, let's put that back up there. What's that? Bear with me a sec here. With my live tab right there. Let's pop this out. Moderation activities. We want that on. Boom. Boom. It should be okay. It should be okay now. It should be okay. We should be back. We should be back now. Bear with me 1 sec. One last moment. One last moment. One last sec. One last moment. One last sec. One last moment. There we go. We did it. Yay! We should be back now. We should be fucking back. We should be fucking back now. Where's Molly? Where's that Molly window? Where's that Molly window? There we go. We should be back now. We should be back now. We should be fucking back now. We should be back. Okay, there we go. There we go. Woo! Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Little technical difficulties. Little technical difficulties. Okay, cool. Let's rock on. Let's crack on. Let's crack on. Molly Qerim abruptly resigns from ESPN First Take. The article here that kind of gives more information. Let's read it. It quickly says here that last night she abruptly resigned to ESPN Stephen A. Smith. ESPN certainly didn't want to lose her, but in the end, she made a decision to walk away. The news was first reported on Sports Business Journal and later confirmed by longtime First Take host herself. Qerim indicated that the news had come out earlier than I had intended and not the way I wanted hoped. She continued, after much reflection, I decided it's time to step away and close this chapter. I'm so grateful for what this journey has given me. Lifelong friendships, unforgettable memories, and a chance to be a part of something truly special. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for welcoming into your homes. She signed off with stay tuned. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe she's going and doing something else. Who fucking knows? Who fucking knows? Smith also addressed the story at the top of the morning edition of First Take. He said, normally our friend would greet you. However, Molly announced last night she departed. She'd hosted First Take for 10 years. Elevate the show with her grace. Elevate the show with her grace. Yeah, I bet. I bet Stephen A. Smith was a big fan of her grace, right? She elevated the show with her grace. Yeah, I'm sure that's what Stephen A. Smith loved the most about her, innit? Her grace. Her fucking grace. That's what he absolutely adored about Molly. How graceful she was. God love Stephen A. Her expertise and her comparable kindness. We'll miss her. Wish her the very best in the future. Personally, I'm grateful for her friendship, and I will miss every weekday morning with her right by my side. All right, relax, bro. Relax. She ain't dead, bro. She ain't dead. So yeah. Let's see what happens. Let's see what fucking happens. And then, of course, what's the thing called? Jason Whitlock, of course. Jason Whitlock didn't miss the opportunity to say something. So Jason Whitlock came through with what, you know how Jason Whitlock is. Jason Whitlock had to say something about Molly Quinn leaving.
With the announcement that Molly Qerim is stepping away from First Take.
Oh, is it pronounced Molly Qerim? It's not pronounced Molly Qerim. Okay, my bad. Molly Qerim. I'm pronouncing her name absolutely wrong. But apologies, Molly Qerim.
I think it's now the appropriate time to talk about her first ballot induction into the Sports Eye Candy Hall of Fame. She is a first ballot.
He's got proper fat, ugly guy energy towards women, innit? I like it though. I like that energy that he has. He has proper fat, ugly guy energy to women. The kind of guy that's never got girls, so he takes out all these frustration. So he's never gonna be okay with eye candy. He's never going to be okay with women getting certain roles because they look hot, right? He's never going to be okay with that because he's always been overlooked by hot women or women in general. That's why he's got this kind of look on his face, you know? It's just like, it never ends. This has been happening since he was in school, since he was in college, since he got his first job. There's always been some fucking eye candy taking up space. Eye candy, you know what I mean? I kind of like his energy because at least Jason Whitlock doesn't try to lie and act like he's above being petty, he's above being mean, he's above being misogynistic, he's above being whatever he is. I like that he just wears his hate on his sleeve proudly. Proudly. He's got that shit on his chest, you know? He just hates women proudly. I kind of rate it. Yo, big up Young Old Vibes.
Bring back Charlie Kirk. Take Jason Fatlock.
Exactly. I think most people would make that trade. Big up Young Old Vibes.
Inductee. There's no question about it. There have only been 4 previous first ballot inductions into the Eye Candy Hall of Fame. Of course, Carissa Thompson with Fox Sports. Of course, Erin Andrews with ESPN, her work there, and her work at Fox Sports. Then I think you have to include Susie Colbert.
Jesus, look at her. Look at this guy, bro. He's got a list of women he hates. He's got a list of women anchors he fucking hates. I love it. Oh, by the way, big up Abe Martinez too. I missed your super chat. Big up Abe Martinez, who said, get it together. A new laptop nonetheless, Chin Jr. Big up Abe Martinez.
ESPN and a first ballot Hall of Famer, of course. And then someone that I think has to be in the GOAT conversation for eye candy, a young woman by the name of Taylor Rooks. She's young. Her resume's...
She's young. All right, relax about the young part as well, bro. Granddad, relax about the young. Let's relax about that. That was like, what the fuck was that about young?
By the name of Taylor Rooks. She's young. Name of Taylor Rooks. She's young. 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 Her resume is not as filled as some of these other people I'm talking about, but clearly a first ballot eye candy Hall of Fame.
Look his face.
Look, when I mentioned the Aaron
look his face thinking of Taylor Rooks. Look at his face, just thinking, just imagining Taylor Rooks in his fucking head. Look at his face. Look at a little tilt down like, God damn, that's a fine piece of woman. Like, all right, bro, relax, Whitlock, relax.
Hall of Famer. It look, when I mentioned the Aaron Andrews, maybe wasn't on my ballot as a first ballot person, but I have to give it up to Aaron Andrews. And I think we're in the same position with Molly Qerim. Molly Qerim's case for first ballot induction is overwhelming. I think it's unquestioned.
It's overwhelming. He's such a dickhead, isn't it? He's so dramatic. He's such a fucking queen. I love him.
The woman is a knockout. And she's someone that I prefer to listen to and watch with the sound turned down. Just so.
Jesus Christ, bro. Like, calm down and relax, bro. Jesus Christ. What does she do to you?
So I don't miss any of her radiant beauty. First ballot Hall of Famers are one thing. My top 10.
One thing for sure, he doesn't miss any meals, isn't it, this guy, isn't it, right? One thing for sure, he doesn't get any sleep, it looks like, and he doesn't miss any meals.
In terms of eye candy, this is my ranking of the greatest sports eye candy in television history. I have Susie Colbert at number 1. That's not a controversial pick. Joe Namath backed me up on that. I think he inducted her into the eye candy
Jesus
Hall of
Christ. Dirty Mackin now as well. Look at this guy, man. Whose man's is this, bro? Whose man's is this? Whose man's is this? Honestly. Whose fucking man's is this?
I'm going to put, and this will be a controversial take, I'm going to put Molly Qerim at number 2. Molly Qerim, when you guys know how I feel about peanut butter, Molly Qerim's got it, and she's first ballot Hall of Fame. She's my number 2 on my list. Number 3 is the incomparable Taylor Rooks.
He's going over the list again. He's gooning again. He's going over the list for a second time, in case you didn't know. He's giving you his top 3, his top 5 again. Jesus Christ, brother.
Taylor Rooks, I can't say enough about her. Number 4, she wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, but she's in my Hall of Fame. Holly Saunders. That's who I would put at number 4. Carissa Thompson at number 5.
Jesus Christ.
Aaron Rodgers, I have her ranked 6. This will be another controversial pick, Kari Champion. Got her at number 7. Then Lindsay Zarniak. You guys remember Lindsay?
You guys remember Lindsay? No, bro. We don't. You do, though.
Leahy and Jenny Taft round out my top 10.
Fucking hell, bro. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Having a goon sports presenter top 10 is insane. He's way too old for this type of banter, man. It doesn't come across funny when he's like 100 years old, right? However this guy is, he's probably like 100 or something. It doesn't come across funny. It comes across really weird. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure many of those women on that list are gonna feel flattered. I don't think one lady on that list is gonna retweet or repost this video. Not one. This is not flattering to be included in. People are gonna be kind of grossed out, but you know, that's Jason Whitlock for ya. That's Jason Whitlock for ya. Next, this is news I should probably be covering on my main show, my cultural commentary show, which is the Agassi and the Zinger show, Taz. But I thought I'd cover it on here anyway, because what it does represent to me is just how fake the world is. You know, the world is fake. Why I say the world is fake? Nothing means anything. You know, whatever value is placed on something is just something people place on it. It doesn't necessarily equate to its quality, to its finish, craftsmanship, nothing. Everything is made up. So I say to you, dear listeners, whatever you're doing in your life, whatever you're pursuing, if you believe it, if you say it so, it is so. You don't have to prove it. If you say it so, it is so. If you have 10 years experience in management and you say it confidently enough and you're sat up right and you look the people in the eye, they're going to believe you. No one's going to check it. No one's going to do the due diligence of calling people. In fact, they're not going to check it. If you put it in your CV and you say it clearly and you say it confidently, people will believe you. If you keep saying to yourself that you're going to receive money somewhere, you're going to get a new car, your kid's going to get into that school, it will happen as well. Because there are people out here, there are companies and brands that are scamming people in the biggest way possible. This guy, right, Wisdom K, what's his name? Wisdom K, he bought some pieces from Miu Miu. Miu Miu is a subsidiary of Prada. Miu Miu is meant to be like the youth kind of, you know, version of Prada. Mercutio Prada created it as a way to kind of speak to the youth. Prada's for the big ladies, Miu Miu's for the girls, right? So Miu Miu is becoming in vogue now. They've also got a men's line, they do, right? They've got Miu Miu men's. So Wisdom K went and bought some stuff from Miu Miu, a pretty established luxury brand, and look at the quality or lack thereof in the piece that he bought. The buttons fell off. The moment he tried to open it at home, the buttons fell off. Nothing is real. Everything is fake. A big up Elephant Graveyard. Simulacra type shit.
I've never made a video like this, but I went shopping today at Miu Miu, and as I'm sure you guys know, I'm a big Miu Miu fan. And I went in today and I spent a good amount of money. How much money did I spend exactly? $18,000 roonies.
Now, to be fair, right? To be fair to Miu Miu, when you see what this guy spent $18,000 on, it won't make any sense to you. Regular people like you and I, it won't make any sense. Even if you don't care about fashion, it doesn't even look good. So he spent $18,000. Let's think about that. $18,000 on this piece of clothing, and look how poor quality it is.
I spent $18,000 roonies at Miu Miu. And as soon as I get home, I honestly, this might be irresponsible for me to even do. As soon as I get home, everything broke. Like, here's a vest that I got, right? I got this vest. This button came off. I was about to put it on. The instant I opened it, this button just came off. Look, you can see it's some of the fabric.
Now, don't get me wrong. Going to Miu Miu and buying an $18,000 denim vest is insane. But spending $18,000 on fashion garment and the buttons fall off the moment you get back home, that's unacceptable. I'm sorry, that's unacceptable. That is unacceptable. But this is the norm. You go to a comedy club now, like, for instance, people that pay like hundreds of dollars to go see Dave Chappelle. You know what, actually? The only thing I think I've realized people say is worth it is that Oasis concert. People who went to the Oasis, people in the stream chat, if you've been, let me know. But people that said they paid resale for the Oasis concert have said it's the one and only thing in recent years they've paid for a high amount, and it's been worth every penny. I've not seen a single person complain and say the Oasis concert hasn't been fucking great. They've all really liked it. They loved it. The ones who paid crazy resale, they've all said it was worth every penny. But most things these days aren't worth the money that you pay for it. $18,000. And this fucking top that he bought, the buttons are falling off. It's absolutely crazy.
Like, I just opened it normally. Like, in fact, I didn't even get to really open it. I was taking the button just out like that, and the first button just came off. It just came off immediately. Now, that was the second item to break. The first item that broke was this sweater right here. This has never happened. Like, I've never gotten multiple pieces from a place, and things are just breaking as soon as I get home. This is genuinely fucking abysmal. Like, I wouldn't do this if it wasn't for the fact that, but like, if this was the first thing that broke, if this just broke, I'd be like, wow, what the hell? And I go about my day. But the fact that two things broke, this is insane. Zipper came off. This one, I unzipped it. I put it on. As soon as I'm trying to zip it up, boom, zipper breaks. I'll show you what the zipper broke too. Because when the zipper broke, I was like, all right, maybe I can just fix it. That was my first thing, was I could fix it. There's like a little piece that goes right here.
And that's the thing that no one can say, right? No one can say that this stuff broke because he's fat, because he's not a fat dude. This is like lack of quality in the construction. And what's making me think about this, right? The only reason why I brought it up is like, I wonder, right? I wonder if this speaks to the overall lacking quality in art overall, across the board, you know? The lacking quality of art across the board. Like, nobody in the comedy world ever speaks about quality of product. Especially when you think about the comedians when they're talking about their shows. Tickets are available, soon selling out. No one's trying to push the quality of the show and say, oh my God, this is the best material I've wrote, or I've written. If you've seen me perform recently, it's a whole new hour. I'm exploring different themes. I'm really trying to push the envelope. I've received a lot of great feedback. That's one of the funniest shows ever. Blah, blah, blah. No one's saying that. Everyone's just trying to make you buy a ticket so you don't miss out. It's like FOMO marketing. But nobody's really marketing the product to you as quality, as fun, as a good time. It's just buy the ticket. You don't want to miss out. It's going to sell out soon. Nobody is pushing quality. And I think it's kind of applying and it's fucking seeping through every part of culture. From TV shows to music. When's the last time you heard a summer smash? By the way, what happened to the summer smash? What happened to the summer hit record of this year? I don't even know what it is. The last hit record I can think of in my head, if I have to think aloud on my feet, might be Sabrina Carpenter Espresso. I don't know when that came out. Was it last year, 2023? But I think Espresso might be the last proper hit record I remember hearing everywhere. But when's the last time we've heard a summer hit record? When's the last time we had a good stand-up comedy special? Let me know that, people. When's the last time we heard a good stand-up comedy special that we can all agree is good? Let me know in the stream chat that we can all agree across the board is good. When's the last time? I can't think of it. I can't think of the last time I remember seeing or hearing a comedy special that was good across the board that we all said, you know what? That's sick. It doesn't happen anymore. It's all fucking shit. So the reason why I think it's the way it is because culture's just, going down the drain, mate. Art is just going down the drain. It's all about collecting checks. It's all about sponsorships. It's all about ads. It's all about all that shit. One of the last surviving comics that's really high level, who will make you laugh, is motherfucking Louis C.K. And somebody uploaded this clip of Louis C.K.'s joke, which I thought was incredible, and for me shows what we're missing. Because I can't think of a single comedian nowadays from this current new generation who's popping now, who's got a better bit than this. No, who's got a better routine, forget a bit. Who's got a better routine, a better show than this one bit from Louis C.K. This is one bit. This isn't even my favorite Louis C.K. bit. This is one bit from Louis C.K. And I don't think there's a single comedian out right now, Dave Chappelle included, who has a better bit or show than him.
Everybody has a competition in their brain of good thoughts and bad thoughts. Hopefully the good thoughts win. For me, I always have both. I have like the thing I believe, the good thing. That's the thing I believe. And then there's this thing. And I don't believe it, but it is there. It's always this thing and then this thing. It's become a category in my brain that I call, of course, but maybe.
Exactly.
I'll give you an example. Okay, like of course, children who have nut allergies need to be protected. Of course. We have to segregate their food from nuts, have their medication available at all times, and anybody who manufactures or serves food needs to be aware of deadly nut allergies. Of course. But maybe, if touching a nut kills you, you're supposed to die.
When's the last time you heard anybody with a bit that good? When? This is a standard bit for Louis C.K. too. This isn't even one of my favorite ones. One of my favorite ones I can't even say on here because it'll probably get me cancelled anyway. But one of my favorite ones is incredible. How he just is able to kind of find the humor in it. But you don't even find people who are this funny anymore. It doesn't exist. They don't even try and write great jokes or try and come from a turn, take me to an unexpected turn. It's just wild how culture across the board has just deteriorated.
Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. Jesus. I have a nephew who has that. I'd be devastated if something happened to him. But maybe, if we all just do this for 1 year, we're done with nut allergies forever. No, of course not. Of course, if you're fighting for your country and you get shot or hurt, it's a terrible tragedy. Of course. Of course. But Maybe if you pick up a gun and go to another country and you get shot, it's not that weird. Maybe if you get shot by the dude you were just shooting at, it's a tiny bit your fault. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Listen, you all clapped for dead kids with the nuts. For kids dying from nuts, you applauded. So you're in this with me now, do you understand? You don't get to cherry pick. Those kids did nothing to you. Of course.
Honestly, he really is the greatest. He really is the greatest of all time.
Of course slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Of course it is. Every time it's happened. Black people in America, Jews in Egypt, every time a whole race of people has been enslaved, it's a terrible, horrible thing. Of course. But maybe every incredible human achievement in history was done with slaves. Every single thing where you go, how did they build those pyramids? They just threw human death and suffering at them until they were finished. How did we traverse the nation with a railroad so quickly? We just threw Chinese people in caves and blew them up and didn't give a shit what happened to them. There's no end to what you can do when you don't give a fuck about particular people. You can do anything. That's where human greatness comes from, is that we're shitty people, that we fuck others over. Even today, how do we have this amazing microtechnology? Because the factory where they're making these, they jump off the fucking roof because it's a nightmare in there.
Honestly, I love him. Big up Young Advice. What do you do again? Oh, if I'm not mistaken, he asked two of his openers, I think, or people he worked with, these two female or women comedians, female comedians. He asked if he could jack off in front of them, and they said yes. He jacks off in front of them, and like this, I think he does it somewhere in the hallway somewhere, and there's nowhere to like dispose of his fucking whatever. So then he rubs it, he disposes of it in a plant pot or something. I think that was a funny part of the story. But I think the reason why he got cancelled was because when those women came forward with that story, even though he asked permission, and they said yes, people were debating, was he in a position of power? And like they couldn't say no because he was an influential guy in comedy. I think they were his openers. So it kind of got a bit murky. Like, can you, like, if you ask that of your female subordinates and they agree, is that okay? Or are they agreeing because they're afraid of losing their jobs, you know? So it got a bit dicey that way. And I think people also were grossed out by the idea that he liked to come in front of people, you know? Maybe people are grossed. I don't know. But he asked permission. They said yes. You know, I don't know. And I understand they probably were grossed out after the fact, but canceling him, I don't know. Is it weird? Yeah, but he's also a really funny guy. Really funny dudes, really creative people are going to be a bit weird, unfortunately. They're going to be a bit weird. I don't know about you, but I'm like a fucking shame gooner. Do you know what I mean? Every time I goon, I feel shame. I feel great shame. Maybe it's my Christian upbringing, but a flood of shame just consumes my body. So the last thing I'd want is for people to stand there and watch me, you know? It's not really, that doesn't turn me on. I'm not going to lie. The idea of somebody watching me would fill me with dread and fright. But some people, it kind of gets them off. Do you know what I mean? Some people, it feels exciting, you know? Somebody watching them like, woo! But me personally, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you, don't thank you. Let's continue. Let's go to Podcast Cringe. Podcast Cringe got a new video. Brendan Schaub gets trolled on his own Patreon. Let's go.
Hi, Brian, Brendan Chin. I've been a fan from the beginning. I'll be a fan until the end. Question. Even though most of us real fans don't care and will ride until we die, that's why we did this Patreon.
Hold on. Did Podcast Cringe also jack this from Unique? He didn't pay for this. Honestly, I'm a bit perturbed by this whole Unique thing, man. Unique is going hard, as he always does, but I'm not too sure if I'm really down with the, posting the entire fucking Patreon shit on YouTube. That's a bit mad, you know what I mean? That's a bit fucking mad. But it's hilarious that Podcast Cringe has just, done that as well. We've all kind of done that. If he's doing it, we're just going to react to what he does. It's not our fault, you know what I mean? I reacted to it as well, but it's not my fault. Unique uploaded it, you know what I mean? Not me.
What
Big up Unique.
What do you guys believe is the reason for the decreased numbers in viewership? Ooh, good question. Question for Schaub. When do you address the lawsuit against you for tax fraud and conspiracy? Yeah, I don't address this stuff, but I mean, here I can. When can we see Bobby Lee make an appearance on The Fighter and the Kid again? Great question, brother.
Just when you thought Brendan the business shark Schaub couldn't embarrass himself anymore, he starts a Patreon. Now, if you're not up to speed on the latest iteration of Joe Rogan's Project Gone Wrong, here is the quick background. Earlier this year, Brendan followed Brian Callen to Texas to revamp their failing careers in the aftermath of the LA fires.
I love how he's pronouncing it Texas as well, by the way. Big up Podcast Cringe, Texas.
Brian hit the ground running, moving before Schaub, getting a regular spot at the comedy mothership and taking chopper rides with his buddy, while Brendan was forced to sell his Calabasas mansion at a discount before heading down south himself. And while Brian's thriving in the Lone Star State, Brendan's just alone in a storage unit, answering questions from his hardcore fans on Patreon. But little does he know, the ones asking the questions are homeless cats. And wait for it, the guy who Brendan tried to sue for exposing his infidelity and lost. I'll explain what's going on there in a moment. Like I've said 1,000 times, you couldn't make this shit up if you tried. Brendan thought this would be a safe place away from the trolls on Reddit and YouTube, not realizing that he'll never be able to hide from criticism until he finally hangs up the mic. And
I don't think that's true. I don't think he didn't think this was going to happen. I think this was part of the reason of doing it. Like, I think they realized quite early on with the Q&A, with the amount of questions they were getting, I think they realized that they could easily monetize that. If people are going to hate and troll, let me make money from it, but I'm not going to post it on my main feed. It's not going to be on the ClearNet. It's going to be behind a paywall. It's kind of, it's somewhat clever, you know? They saw the reaction they got from the couple of first Q&As during that 1,000 episode and stuff. Well, you know what? Let's monetize it. Let's make them pay to troll me. So now, that's why he's sitting there accepting these messages. Personally, I think he should do this with the Fight Companion. I think he should bring that back, and he should do Fight Companions and have TTS on and just sit there and do watch-alongs with UFC fight cards and let people say what they want while he cashes in the money. He can't do it because he's incredibly thin-skinned and he has a very, he's just, essentially doesn't think he does anything wrong anyway. So he's not going to be able to accept it, but I think he'd make bank. He'd make bank if he did that. People would be more than happy and gleeful to dunk and troll on him and say really wild shit on the TTS if he were to do that. But I don't think he has a stomach for it.
And becomes a personal trainer. But basically, Brendan's last-ditch effort to save the thick boy empire from its inevitable violent implosion was to start a Patreon like 10 fucking years too late. The thing is, though, your boy...
I don't think he's starting it also to save Tfatk. I think Tfatk is fine. They've like the system of getting ads on podcasts is kind of rigged anyway. The whole marketing spend thing is also kind of rigged. I've said it before on here. People have kind of debated me about, oh, that's why you don't know what you're talking about. So, I kind of do, innit? I've worked in marketing for 10 plus years. Done a lot of social media management and shit. I run ads and stuff. And I know most companies, maybe it's different now, but when I was working in those roles, most companies have a marketing budget that you just have to spend every quarter. You have to spend it. And some people just throw it on anything. And usually, even though there's some form of KPIs, you can just spend it on whatever, really. They don't really double check loads of things on marketing spend. So some companies have money to burn, literally. So if you can prove to them that you have views, that you have engagement, that there's traction on your thing, they will spend money with you. They will advertise with you. They don't really have a high threshold, or they don't do a lot of due diligence, really, for the most part. You show them the views, they equate the views with eyes on their brand, boom, you got a deal. So the fact that Brendan buys views, the fact that he's grandfathered in anyway, he's fine. Tfatk is never not going to make money. So I don't think they're doing this to make money. No, I don't think they're doing this because Tfatk is failing. They're doing this to kind of just add to make extra money. But I don't think it's like, oh yeah, because Tfatk is not doing well, let's launch a Patreon. I don't think so. Because Patreon is also notoriously difficult to do. I think they're just using the Patreon as an opportunity to monetize all the trolls and the haters. But I could be wrong.
Boy Bupper can't even get people to watch this shit for free. The Thick Boy Brains Trust has completely run out of ideas. The car channel is dead in the water, the Schaub show has turned into low-energy baseball dad ramblings, and The Fighter and the Kid will soon be studied by psychologists as part of one of the longest, most comprehensive studies into the degenerative disease known as CTE, or as Brendan likes to call it, CT, as in drinking tea in the sea. Yeah, I don't know, guys. And so now, armed with their 3.5 followers on Patreon and the other 15 who are there just for the laughs, Brendan has resorted to doing Q&A storage unit sessions. And
actually, how many followers do they have now? Sorry to disturb again, but how many do they have on there? Let's see. I haven't checked in a while. How many people do they have on there? The Fighter and the Kid. Let's see. How many do they have? How many do they have? Let's see. How many? Last time it was like 7. What, 70? 7? Let's see how many paid people they have on there. That's the most important one, the paid statistic. Let's see. Ugh. Is it still 30? Is it still 7? That can't be real. That can't be real, no? That can't be real. They still got 7. How about, let's see if I do mine. Maybe it's different. Let's see. Because mine, I think I got like 40 or something, right? Paid subscribers. I think I might have 40. They've got 7. No way. Okay, let's see. They've got 7 paid subscribers. That's impossible. No way they've got 7. No fucking way. No way have I got more paid subscribers than them. That doesn't make any sense. They've got 7 paid subscribers. That's impossible. That's literally impossible. What? No way is that true. Do you guys think it's true? Do you think they only have 7 paid subscribers on their Patreon? 7. So they've got 83 members in total, but only 7 of them are paying. The rest of them are on a free trial. No way. No way. 7. Fucking hell. So what? Is their entire empire built on fucking lies? So how many views do they really get if they don't buy views? How many views do they really get if they don't buy views then? 7 paces. If you get, sorry, let's just equate this, right? They average like 40,000 views on Tfatk. If you average 40,000 views, there's no way you can only get 7 paid subscribers. I'm sorry. That maths does not make sense. That maths is not mathing. 7. Hold on, let me reload this again. 7 paid subscribers is fucking wild, bro. 7 paid subscribers is absolutely insane. Let's go on let's go on the Fire and the Kid YouTube actually. What's the fire? Is it? Am I right? Say it's 40,000. Yeah, look, see, the Fire and the Kid YouTube. They roughly get about 32. What is 40, right? 40,000 views, 40,000 views, 40,000. And by the way, I think the numbers are really obvious that they fake the views, isn't it? Right? Everything's the same number: 40, 40, 40, 40. Around 40, 50, 40, 50, 40, 50. So there's no way you can have 40,000 views on a podcast and then get 7 paid subscribers, right? No way. Jesus Christ, bro. They're fucking lying about everything, probably, innit?
the questions are amazing.
Hi, Brian, Brendan, Chin. I've been a fan from the beginning. I'll be a fan until the end. This question goes to all three of you, the both of us, Jen. Even though most of us real fans don't care and will ride until we die, that's why we did this Patreon. What do you guys believe is the reason for the decreased numbers in viewership? Ooh, good question. Boy, I think it's a number of things. I would say podcast. When our numbers were at its biggest, there wasn't as much competition. So now everyone has their podcast.
I think that's a really bad thing to admit, by the way. To say that your numbers are decreasing because it's increased competition, it's almost like an admission that you can't match the competition. You can't reinvent yourself. You can't offer something new. You can't fucking, you know what I mean? You can't compete. That's kind of wild to admit. I guess there's some level of honesty there, but it's kind of wild to admit that.
So that's a reason. Two, a number of things that happened with, like Brian being out for 2 years wrecked the podcast, getting falsely accused of that bullshit. You know, so I had to do the podcast without him for 2 years.
That also was a big mistake because they were really like big on like anti-cancel culture, right? And in the moment somebody got cancelled close to them, they all ran away. They all kind of hid. No one stood up. No one stood up tall. No one was like, nah, my guy didn't rape anybody. I'm standing by him. They didn't do none of that shit. So they were talking the big talk of anti-cancel culture, but when it came and knocking, when cancel culture came and knocking on their doorstep, they all fucking ran and hid. If they would have stood tall, actually, weirdly enough, right, with cancel culture the way it is, if Brian would have refused to cower and just stood tall and said, I didn't rape that lady, and like creating this like tension and this argument between people that are trying to cancel him and whatever on the show would have been more successful. It would have actually helped the show. The controversy of it all. People watching be like, oh my God, I can't believe he's off the show. Can't believe he's not off the show. What a piece of shit. He raped somebody and he's still here talking. It would have actually been good for the show. But he was so worried about losing ads and sponsors. That's what happened, by the way. If you remember correctly, when Brian Callen got accused of rape, Brendan and Brian tried to start another Tfatk behind the paywall on Patreon. Then the sponsors found out and they said, hey, if you do a show with Brian, full stop, we're going. And then that's when Brian decided to do a leave. That he didn't leave because he was being a good guy, whatever. No. Brian only left Tfatk temporarily because the sponsors threatened to pull out if they kept Brian on the show, which is why Brenda had to go and find Chappelle, Josh Wolf, Malik B to replace and to kind of sit in for fucking Brian. So if they would have stood tall, it would have actually helped them. But again, no balls, no bravery, no cojones, no nothing. Just vibes.
With people you guys really don't know, that was kind of the start of our demise. The Bobby stuff hurt us. I think that made a lot of people upset.
I think that made a lot of people upset. Oh, you think so? You think so? You trying to fuck Bobby Lee's girlfriend and then trying to gaslight them into thinking they were bullying you, or that you weren't that big of a bully, or that it wasn't that big of a deal. And then you went to their fucking studio and tried to accuse Bobby Lee of being behind the fucking Fighting the Kids subreddit. By the way, that doesn't get spoken about enough. That doesn't get spoken about enough. The fact that Brendan was scammed by some hacker IT person who made him believe that Bobby Lee was behind the Fighting the Kids subreddit. The homeless cats. Whoever that person was that scammed Brendan to make him believe that, you know, Bobby Lee was behind all the attacks on him on there, you're a genius.
Our talk about COVID with the suppression of YouTube, that does it.
I think that's not true. I think what happened with COVID was that fans got pissed off. I know I got pissed off just watching from afar. I'm sure the fans did. I think fans that were watching them got annoyed that they were gallivanting around the country, acting like COVID wasn't a big deal, doing shows, doing meet and greets, while we were at the peak COVID hysteria. People dying, numbers going crazy high, no vaccine in sight, right? People debating about the mask thing, people, whatever. Like, they were still going out and touring their fucking shitty shows that they do all around the fucking country, or to the states that had a bit more lax fucking COVID restrictions. And they were kind of acting about cunts about it too when they were kind of called up on it. So I think that turned off a lot of people, especially Brendan. Brendan had a very combative, really odd attitude about performing during COVID. I'm sure people didn't like that.
False flagging from haters causes issues. And then the lack of guest. I think that covers it all. Would you agree, Chin? Pretty much. Yeah. Good question, Dukes of Apollo. What do you guys think it is? Let me know.
Oh yeah, that's a damn good question. If they have an idea of what it might have been, or how many different things it might.
The show is also just shit as well, by the way. It could just be that. All those things they said is true, but it could be just the show is shit. Simple as that. It could just be the show is fucking shit. They don't try to improve it. They're low energy nowadays. People maybe want high energy. I don't know. But the show could just be terrible too. That could be the reason.
Might have been.
Absolutely, Chin. Listen up. That was actually a pretty good attempt from your boy right there, bringing up some key issues from over the years that I honestly can't disagree with. The only bit that Brendan left out was the part where he finally takes complete ownership and responsibility for being one of the biggest douchebags on the internet. He will never admit it. I've got to give it to him, though, for a guy with the clearest case of CT I've ever seen, his ability to pull out the mental gymnastics and avoid any semblance of self-reflection and improvement is elite level. The part that he'll never admit is that he was so convinced that he was going to be the next Dwayne Johnson that he kept pushing back against the backlash. So when comedians and comedy fans went after him for jumping the queue and coming out with his Showtime special, You'd Be Surprised, followed by the now infamous Gringo Puppy 3 years later, without a shred of talent. Instead of listening to the internet and staying in his lane, he pushed back against them and mistakenly labeled them as jealous haters. He literally used to lash out at his so-called haters for being out of shape, ugly losers with nothing going for them. They don't matter. Nobody cares what they think. And now his media career is basically over. How'd that go for you, B? Now, personally...
That is kind of true, though. You know what's really funny, though? Forget the Dwayne Rock Johnson. He thought he was going to be the next Joe Rogan. That's the funny part. He thought he was going to be the next Joe Rogan. Like, can you imagine that? He thought he was going to be the next Joe Rogan. What a legend.
You know I blame Joe Rogan. He's the one who openly used to defend Brendan earlier on and gave him the idea that people hate him because he's big, strong, and good-looking and funny. But at some point, a grown man's got to take responsibility for his own actions. Just like Brian Callen had... No, wait, that's wrong. Sorry, guys, typo. What I meant to say was...
I have a very close friend, my best friend, who's falsely confused.
But like he...
Falsely confused.
A very close friend, my best friend, who's falsely confused.
He was
he just admitted,
he was a millionaire at one point, by the way. That guy was a millionaire at one point. He was a multi-millionaire at one point.
Oh, wait, that's wrong. Sorry, guys, typo. What I meant to say was...
I have a very close friend, my best friend, who's falsely confused.
But like he just admitted there, the Bobby Lee situation was also a seminal moment in Brendan's downfall, and one absolute legend on Patreon asked him about it.
Jason, when can we see Bobby Lee make an appearance on The Fighter and the Kid again? Great question, brother. I don't have a problem with Bobby. I don't have a relationship with him either. I think that's more of a Brian thing because Brian's still in the comedy scene.
Sorry to pause it there, but come on, brother, man. It's not a Brian thing, it's a you thing. You're the reason why Brian's relationship with Bobby Lee isn't great, because he was trying to defend you. You're the one that tried to fuck Kalila. That's where it all started. You're the one that started everything. You're the reason why it's bad. It's like, god damn, man.
He's going to the mothership, and I think Bobby's there sometimes, so Brian would see him. Brian says they're cool. Me and Bobby haven't spoke in a hot second. I have no ill will towards him. One of the worst mistakes the Fighter Kid's ever made. I'd love to have him on. We don't do a ton of guests.
You mean the worst mistake you've ever made? Not the worst mistake the Fighter and the Kid have ever made. You've ever made. Jesus Christ, this guy, lack of accountability. He's like a woman, isn't it? Like, fucking hell.
I'm just not in that world anymore. I don't know if you realize this, but Brian really doesn't book guests. Even though he's in the comedy scene, it's just not in his nature to ask people to come on the show. So unless I go down to the mothership and start asking guys to be on the show, it's probably not going to happen. I just don't have time, especially at night with my kiddos' sports, to go down there. So I don't know. Bobby would have to run into Brian, and Brian and him would have to come to some agreement. But we'd love to have him on. He's literally one of the funniest guys in the world. You know, I have no ill will towards Bobby at all, and he's crushing it.
Haven't these guys ever heard of a fucking phone? How did a simple question about getting Bobby Lee back on the podcast turn into a rant about having to go down to the mothership to find guests? Bro, you have the internet on your phone. But this part drives me nuts. Why would Brendan have any ill will towards Bobby Lee? We've heard him say this multiple times before, and I still don't get it. Brendan can't admit that he was the bully in that whole situation. You were the one who fucked up, not Bobby. Brendan tried to hit up Bobby's girlfriend at the time, Kalila, and then when her and her friends exposed him for it on Trash Tuesday and the whole Trug Walk saga came out, Brendan and Brian called and messaged Bobby, threatening to fuck him up if he couldn't keep his girl quiet about...
And you know what's really funny too? Like, I've always wondered, in that scenario, right? Because it was Trash Tuesdays, don't get me wrong. Trash Tuesdays had a good run, but it wasn't that popular of a show. They could have just ignored it for a week. If they would have ignored it for 2 days, it would have went away. So I don't really know why they didn't just ignore it and act like he never, you know what I mean? Just ignore it. Ignore the whole thing. You didn't have to address it in any way, shape, or form, especially not behind the scenes, calling Bobby, saying, hey, what's up with your girl? What do you mean, what's up with my girl, bro? What's up with you? Why are you DMing my girl? You know what I mean? What the fuck is you doing up with my girl? Like, why are you getting annoyed at her telling her story of you trying to hit her up? What the fuck is wrong with you? So I think that's where he fucking flopped. That's where he fucked up. He should have just pretended like it didn't happen, and then hoped it didn't get brought up enough. Then pray to God it didn't get brought up again. Maybe if he would have went on Schultz and they would ask him the question, just kind of ignored it. But he didn't need to address it. He didn't need to go and attack Bobby. Because again, Bobby Lee wasn't in the fucking wrong. But for some reason he did. It's such a strange thing to do. But I guess when you're guilty, you do weird things anyway.
The whole thing. So why would Brendan hold any ill will towards Bobby? And he can't even come out and say, I was the one who fucked up. He literally just blamed it on the fighter and the kid. He said, one of the worst mistakes the fighter and the kids ever made. Bro, your podcast isn't a sentient being. You are. Actually, nah, I take that back. Maybe he's right on that one. Okay, I got that out of my system now. Now it's time for Brendan Schaub giving relationship advice.
Don't lose focus on, if you have a good girl, on how hard it is to find a good person in this crazy world we live in. Don't lose focus on that, man.
What?
By being selfish, I think for me, for especially the start of my relationship with my wife, even my first kiddo, is as a comic, especially the field I'm in, entertainment, comic, podcasting, being on TV, doing all that. You got to be a bit of almost a narcissist. You got to be kind of selfish. But at the end of the day, it's really not worth it. So you see now, I don't do as much as far as like TV and all that stuff. I still do some stuff.
You don't.
Obviously, I stopped touring because at the end of the day, like even if you achieve whatever you set out to do, you're just lonely, and it comes at a cost, and that cost is the time with your wife, with your girlfriend, with your kiddos, and it's just not worth it. At the end of the day, you're going to realize as you get older, the only people you can trust and the only people that actually want to see you win is your family. So don't kind of isolate them.
That's a weird thing to say, because I get the feeling, in my personal opinion, again, looking from the outside in, the only reason why he's turned into like a family man and now he's all about being a baseball dad, beast of a dad type of guy is because he's quit stand-up. And he quit stand-up because he couldn't sell tickets. If he was able to sell tickets, if there was a demand for him, if he was good at stand-up, if people thought he was funny, if he had people offering him opportunity to tour the world, if he had residencies, if he was able to perform in the fucking mothership, I don't think he quit stand-up comedy. He quit stand-up comedy when it got hard. When it got difficult, when Rogan moved away, when Callum wasn't around anymore, when he didn't have his little fucking group of handlers and people that are around him to help him, he quit. He quit because it got too hard. He quit because he couldn't sell tickets. And then obviously with that time now being occupied, with that time now not being occupied with comedy, he's now got more time to be at home. He now, I think, which is really embarrassing for his point of view, in his like early 40s, he realized how good his family is. He realized how dope his kids are, how much he loves his wife, because now he's at home. But before, he didn't give a fuck about it. He didn't give a fuck about them when he was touring. He didn't give a fuck about them when he was, still in fucking Rogan's inner circle and good graces. He didn't give a fuck about them when he was at the comedy store all the time. But then as soon as they quits that, suddenly his family is the most important thing, and everyone that isn't at home with their family is a narcissist. It's like, brother, you were a narcissist. You still probably are a narcissist. You were selfish. You still are selfish right now, So I love that he's kind of like chastising people for doing the same thing that he was doing only a couple of years ago, and now he's acting like, oh, he's like above it all. It's like moral grandstanding, talking from his high horse. It's like, brother. And I love how he doesn't understand you could do both. In his idea, in his world, there is no way you can be a great dad, you can be a great family man, you can be a great husband, while also pursuing your singular goal of trying to be successful in the entertainment industry. You can't. In Brendan's head, there isn't any example, anybody, in Brendan's head, any guy that's successful in comedy, in acting, in podcasting, in whatever, they are shitty dads. They are shitty husbands. It's like, nah, you're projecting here. You're projecting. Because you can't do it doesn't mean everyone else can't do it either.
Don't forget that. Whatever business you're in, whatever journey you're on, make sure you're trying to manage your time and putting time into the family.
The guy asked for relationship advice. Why is Brendan getting into his toxic narcissism and his failed comedy and media careers? Brendan can't answer a fucking question without trauma dumping on his 3.5 hardcore fans. But let me translate the second part of that trauma dump for you. What he's trying to say is, when your career takes a nosedive and you become the most hated man on the internet, one of the side effects is that the Instagram baddies all dry up. So the moral of the story is, don't cheat on your wife, because once you become a lolcow, she's all you'll have left. For now, at least. Honestly, this Q&A format is actually some of the most entertaining content your boys come out with in a while. It's reminiscent of the 1000th episode of The Fighter and the Kid.
And that's where I think they got the idea from. I think they got the idea from this because they were probably, I remember at the time when they said it, they had like too many questions to go through on the show. It got really sad and miserable, but they had too many questions came through. So I think they realized, they thought, you know what, let's monetize this, which is why we get this Q&A show on Patreon. I don't know if it's because they're not making enough money on Tfatk. I think they're doing this solely because, you know, they can make money from it. But 7 paid subscribers is brutal.
Where he started rage crying about Callan's allegations and told Chin to give him the close-up, but then looked into the wrong camera. We're at a point now where guys like Brendan and Bert Kreischer are commentating on their own downfalls in real time. I mean, this shit is insane. It's like Christmas every week for me over here. And just to top it off, one of Brendan's fake fans asked him about his latest lawsuit, except little did Brendan know the guy asking the question was actually Kyle Swindells, the self-represented YouTuber who Brendan sued for copyright and lost.
Mike, question for Schaub. When do you address the lawsuit against you for tax fraud and conspiracy? Yeah, I don't address this stuff, but I mean, here I can. This came out of nowhere. It's a company, a CBD company that I had nothing to do with for years. You're talking about like 5 years. The owner has a litany of issues and legal issues and stuff going against.
Isn't that a weird sentence, like grammatically? It involves a company I have nothing to do with for years. Shouldn't it be, it's a company that I worked with in the past, but I haven't had nothing to do with them in years? No, it's a weird way to phrase that. A company that I have nothing to do with in years. So you had something to do with them before? Huh?
Him, and he's been suing these people. There's like 4 or 5 owners. He's been suing them like 6 times with no success. He decided to throw my name into it, obviously to get traction. And
obviously to get traction, because Brendan's such a big deal, you know, A-list celebrity. Obviously, you put my name in it, you're going to get way more clicks.
Yeah, he'll be dealt with. They're dealing with it. And of course, the haters on the internet run with like, oh, tax fraud and conspiracy. There's none of that. I mean, but it sounds juicy, but it's headlines. You know, I get it. Thank God I have a great lawyer who works pro bono. So, and we deal with bullshit like this all the time. I don't
think that's a good thing, by the way. Having to deal with stuff like this all the time is not a good thing. I don't think that should be something that, it's not the standard for most people, for most public figures, to just have these crazy lawsuits where somebody's accusing you of reneging on a contract, of running some conspiracy, of doing some fraud, insider trading thing. Not everybody has these sort of charges on them. I don't think so anyway.
I don't talk about it or bring attention to it because it's just bullshit. And that's what they want, you know. But he'll be dealt with. I think one article's like Brendan Schaub getting arrested or going to prison, and he's cooking the books. You think my dumbass has access to do tax fraud and conspiracy and cook the books? None of it makes sense. But
you cook the books already, bro, with your fake views. Come on, bro. You don't need to be that smart to cook the books. You know, dumber people have got away with it than you. Trust me.
It's fun for you know, headlines and shit like that. And it just dies down, it goes away, and then somebody else will try some bullshit. It's just how it goes, man, unfortunately.
Imagine being so far up your own arse that you truly believe that, in his own words, he obviously threw my name into it to get traction. If you've been following my extensive coverage of Brendan's latest lawsuit, you'll know there's a legitimate claim of alleged fraud from his former business associate because Brendan indicated and acted like he intended to relinquish his shares in Pure Spectrum CBD, only to then sell them to a Russian-backed private equity company. We're still waiting for the phantom document to appear in Discovery, so your boy isn't out of the woods yet. And for the love of God, can someone please explain to Brendan what fucking pro bono means? Working on a contingency fee basis does not mean pro bono. It's like how Trump still thinks foreign companies and governments pay for American tariffs. Someone's got to get the whiteboard out and draw some diagrams.
But yeah, big up Podcast Cringe. Brilliant video there. Brilliant video. Yeah, man, interesting. I honestly, like I said, I don't think the Patreon is there to make money. Oh no, I don't think the Patreon is there to supplement the Tfatk income. I think Tfatk makes plenty money for them to survive and do what they need to do. They're already fucking hacked and figured out the loophole when it comes to running ads and getting ads and sponsors by faking your views. And because they're grandfathered in, no one knows now. You know, they're grandfathered in, so it kind of helps them that way. So they fake their views. They're signed up to that podcasting platform anyway, Podcast One, that helps them out to get ads as well. So they'll be okay. They'll be covered in that respect. As long as they just keep churning out the material, they'll be pretty much fine. But I think they obviously saw an angle to make some money on the Patreon because they get a lot of questions. You know, Brendan obviously, you know, is a bit of a locale. People want to ask him certain things, so they're just trying to monetize it. That's all really. I don't think it's any more complex than that. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Let's move on. Let's do a little bit of the Fire and the Kid. Let's see if I can find it. Bear with me a second here. I don't have the Fire and the Kid tab open, I don't think. But let's do a bit of the Fire and the Kid here. Whoops, went the wrong one, but hey. Let's do a bit of the Fire and the Kid before we move on. Bear with me. Boom, let's go. Let's see. Oh, let's go this one. What's this link about? Brendan Schaub learned the hard way. The only people paying for his Patreon are his haters. Has he learned the hard way? Let's see. Brendan Schaub learned the hard way. Who's this website? Calf Kicker. They always post some bad things about Brendan. I'm pretty sure they're always kind of trolling him. Whoever's running this website must be a bit of a homeless cat. Because I feel like they're always writing bad articles about Brendan. Let's see. Let's scroll down. Yeah, they're not the most favorable. Let's go 16 pages. Page 16. Joe Rogan Experience disappears on Spotify again. Let's see here. Brendan Schaub. Nope, no mention there. Let's see on 15. I want to see the latest entry of him. The earliest entry of Brendan. Where was it featured? Rogan, Brendan, no Brendan there, no Brendan there, no Brendan there. Let's see again. Logan Paul, John Jones. Okay, he's not here again. Not here too much. Let's go 13. Anything else on here? There we go. Sean Strickland believes American beats. Oh, that's my thumbnail actually. That's my thumbnail. I love that. Sean Strickland believes America beta males with man buns need to be exterminated to a man bun haver is hilarious. I love that. Let's see here. Actually, yeah, that's my thumbnail. Big up that person for including that, by the way. I'm pretty sure that's a thumbnail that I put together. I'm pretty sure. But we'd love to see it. Let's go back to page 12 then. Let's see. KSI, Rogan. What else is going on here? Rogan again. So every time he mentions Rogan, he mentions Brendan, I guess, because there's not a lot of Brendan Schaub mentioned. Oh, there you go. Chase Hooper. I'm one of the few people who was able to be both virgin and professional athlete at the same time. Is hilarious. Let's see here again. What else is it? Anything more? Yeah, there. And the truck flip video of him truck flipping. So yeah, this website's a bit of a hater. I love it, man. This website, I think, hates Brendan a lot. Gotta love it. So let's see this one. In a desperate attempt to salvage his crumbling empire, Brendan Schaub recently launched a Patreon subscription service, believing it would provide a safe haven from his relentless criticism and face on platforms. I love how they just view, everyone kind of views it as a safe, it's like a safe space. You know, that's what everyone views it as. It's fucking hilarious. The irony became painfully apparent during a recent Patreon Q&A where Schaub found himself fielding questions that were anything but supportive, where he assumed he would be softball inquiries about devout fans turned into a masterclass of public humiliation. One particularly telling moment came when the subscriber asked, "What do you guys believe is the decreased numbers of viewers?" Even more damaging was the question about Bobby Lee, when he might return. Perhaps the most surprising revelation came when it was discovered that Carl Swindell, a YouTuber whom Schaub successfully sued for copyright, was among the paying subscribers asking questions under the alias Mike. But now everyone knows he's Mike. He's not going to get questions answered anymore, I don't think. Schaub's attempt to address those issues only made matters worse. The explanations came across as defensive. His inability to take responsibility for his actions were on full display, particularly when he referred to Bobby Lee's situation as one of the worst mistakes the Fire and the Kid ever made, as his podcasts were a sentient entity. Oh, this person just takes Podcast Cringe's video and just transcribes it, right? This is quite a funny little hustle. He just takes Podcast Cringe videos and transcribes them into text. That's kind of hilarious, into a text summary. It feels like, anyway. But big up that person. Everyone's got hustle, I guess. Another one I wanted to show you guys was this. I'm sure you guys have seen this, right? I'm sure you guys have seen this. This is fucking brilliant. Big up the BCO. Big up BCO. Big up Brian Campbell. Big up Blood Clark Brian Campbell. This is fucking brilliant. What a fucking legend.
That's rough. Okay. This week in vehicular manslaughter, let's go to this race.
Oh, Christ.
Boom.
All gas, no brakes. Oh, my God.
All gas, no brakes.
Wow.
All
Drive
gas.
fast, all gas on that one, right? That looked that looked worse than the land mooning. You know what I mean? I mean, if that
that looked worse than the land mooning. Oh, one more time. So good.
Oh, Jesus.
All gas, no brakes. Oh, my God.
Jesus.
Wow. Drive fast, all gas on that one, right? That looked that looked worse than the land mooning. You know what I mean? I mean, if that even happened, right? That must, yeah, all right.
All
okay.
All right.
Time for your T-shirts of the week here, Luca. I mean, relatable, right?
Quarter Pounder 69. That's a classy fella.
Okay. All right. Let's go over to Ted Lasso.
Honestly, big up BCO, man. Big up fucking BCO. What a fucking legend. What a fucking legend. Somebody has posted another one down below here that I want to show. Yeah, this is another one too. This is another really good one too. Another really good one where he trolls Brendan to his face. I forgot about this, by the way. I completely forgot about this, but he trolled Brendan to his face the entire time. Brilliant references. If you know, you know.
Finished business, but the guy in front of him, Luis Cuba Arias, and you know, B, you've run into guys before. You maybe can look at him and say, I know I'm better than you technically, but you got some dog in you. And I think that's created a little bit of tension there.
Right. If the skill gap is
B. I think Brendan knows he's getting trolled, but is like trying to act like he doesn't know, you know? But you can tell he's seething. You can tell he's absolutely brewing inside. I think so anyway. I think he knows he's getting trolled, but he's not trying to show it. He's not trying to acknowledge the troll, you know. But I know he knows it. I feel like he does anyway.
Well, quickly, BC, we haven't talked about it, and we'll get back to a little bit later as well. Chad Ochocinco's on this card. Chad Johnson, the former NFL player.
Big draw.
I got to say, he's had a completely different attitude than what I thought he was going to have.
For Jake. Look, I love the face-off because they were talking trash. There was energy. I thought somebody was going to get thrown through a glass door or something. It was wild. Do you think, though, that's the best...
I thought someone's going to get thrown through a glass door, sorry. If you know, you know. OG Brendan Schaub law. I thought someone's going to get thrown through a glass door. That's fucking brilliant. Big up BCO.
Strategy for Woodley to come in.
Big up the BCEO. Big up the BCEO, not BCO. BCO is fucking some Brendan shit. That's some CT shit. That's some SHA Schaub shit.
Demean this guy and think I'm just going to knock him out and talk trash, be an equal troll with him. Or do you think it's better to come in there and really study the angles and respect the game and realize this guy does have some boxing experience?
I know Woodley does respect Jake to a certain extent.
Just putting my first mark on my legacy and continuing my father's.
Papa, he called himself the Floyd Mayweather of MMA. That's big one, big.
Papa.
Ones they call that where I
big
come
ones,
from.
big huevos,
yeah,
big huevos. Do you see any hole?
Bye. Can't wait to see you tomorrow and enjoy the fights.
Thank you,
fan.
Matt Barnes,
Appreciate it.
2017 NBA champion. All right, so we were talking about this. Just a minute, Brian. You were up there. You talked to Floyd. You talked to Logan. Tell me what you saw.
I saw and felt the intensity, and that's the drawing. I mean, that's the catnip. That's the drawing card. This may be a spectacle, but spectacles are fun as heck. It had that feeling. The two.
Oh, okay. All right. That sounds fine.
Now you hang with a high circle. You got there. You earned it. Is there anybody that you could be Star Trek? What if they say,
yeah.
hey,
Ooh, Tom Brady for sure. Mario Lopez.
Huge Mario Lopez.
So it's not that serious.
We tried to mix live music with boxing. That sometimes works. A lot of times
that was
it
just for the
work.
weigh-ins. I don't think there's any live music tomorrow.
Maybe we can mix stand-up comedy. Maybe you can open for Floyd. I mean, that's not a bad gig. That's not a bad gig.
That's not bad. It's been a tough crowd.
That's a tough.
So good. So good, man. Honestly, just trolling him to his face is fucking brilliant. Big up BCO. Big up the BCO. Big up the BCO. Big up the BCEO. Big up the BCEO. You love to hear it. You love to hear it. You love to hear it. Cool. Let's continue on. Let's continue on. Let's do a little bit of the Fire and the Kid. Let's do a little bit of the Fire and the Kid. Bear with me a second here. Bear with me a second here as I get it up. There you go. Boom. Let's do a bit of the Fire and the Kid.
And I hope it wasn't because he was in despair, but there's a lot. That is a real thing.
Dude, we didn't talk about it. I mean, you and I talked off air about it. The Charlie Kirk thing when it happened, was that Thursday?
I don't know, but it was truly traumatic.
But before you go where I was going, I'm glad we didn't have a podcast on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was so upset.
I know.
I didn't post on social media.
Shut up, man. Shut up. Way to make it all about yourself. I was so upset. Oh, yeah. You don't even know the guy. You barely mentioned him on your fucking pod. You probably can't name a single thing that he said, really, apart from the clips that you've seen. Like, fuck off. Fuck off.
Media. I really ain't talking about it. The only person I talked to was Rogan.
Of course. Of course. You ran to Daddy when you were sad, innit? Daddy, I'm sad. He ran to Daddy. Only person I talked to was Rogan. Yeah, of course you did. Of course. Fucking hell. Rogan, like, legit, he must speak to Rogan more than he speaks to his own parents. He definitely must speak to Rogan more than he speaks to his own dad. He might even love Rogan more than he loves his own dad. It's absolutely quite sickening how much they fucking suck Rogan off. And the really odd thing about it, like I said before, I get Rogan's important. I get Rogan's a big deal out here. But Rogan's their friend. This would make more sense if us, regular people, bumped into Rogan and we were kind of starstruck a little bit. That would make more sense. But these guys constantly name-dropping Rogan, sucking him off at every fucking turn. Mentioning his name with little to no reason to, out of the blue, I personally think is bizarre. Bizarre in the nth degree. Like, that's your friend, man. Like, I don't know, have some composure. That's your fucking friend. Have some composure. It's not that big of a deal, really. That's your boy. That's your friend. That's your pal. It's not that big of a deal that, whatever. Like, relax. But nah, it's like Rogan. Like, fuck, at some point, you have to start treating him like he's a regular human being. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He's your friend. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I shot him a text. It scared me because
I think it was Wednesday.
Wednesday. Oh, Wednesday, yeah.
And when I went into the mothership,
it scared me because, like, I would say Rogan is a bigger name than Charlie Kirk, and
it scared him because he's afraid of losing Rogan. I've said it before on this stream. God forbid it happens anytime soon, but I've said in this stream countless times. I guess if or when Rogan passes away, right? These guys are gonna mourn for weeks, maybe months. They're gonna be crying on here worse than they cried when Chris D'Elia got cancelled for being a PDF. If you thought it was ridiculous the way they cried about Chris D'Elia, if and when Rogan passes away, they are gonna be in hysterics on this pod, shaking bogey, They might even faint on the floor. It would be fucking crazy. It would be fucking crazy. But then they won't do the same thing if their parents pass away. That's a really wild thing. They'll cry way harder. They'll be way more distraught when Rogan passes away than their own parents. I bet you. Watch.
You and I know Rogan isn't far right, but if you're
that guy,
that guy or gal or they, them, where the fuck you're doing with your life, and you think
wasn't he white? Wasn't he like a white guy from like a Mormon family, predominantly conservative family? He lived in a predominantly conservative state. There's nothing they-them about him apart from his partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, right? There's nothing like, do you know what I mean? Like, he was the most unsuspecting person ever. That's the tragic part about the whole story. Charlie Kirk was, making everyone else to be demons and devils, right? Villainizing other people that didn't look like him, and the person ends up killing him is somebody that looks like they should be one of his fans. Tragic, man.
You're reading whatever fucking Reddit, whatever, Twitter, whatever it is. And you can be convinced that Rogan's this extremist.
Yes.
Then and there's people out there that are fucking. They don't do any research, and you get compromised. Like that could be one of our close friends. That could be you. It could be. So it's like
I thought about it a lot.
It's so scary.
I called him immediately.
They don't give a fuck when a black person is punched up in the face in a car, right? Just obey the police. They don't seem to bat an eyelid when that happens, right? They didn't really seem to get that scared when those two Democratic politicians were gunned down in their own home by that guy that was wearing a rubber mask. They didn't give a shit about that, right? They didn't shed a tear. They weren't concerned or worried when that happened. But the moment somebody on their quote-unquote side dies in tragic circumstances, all of a sudden, violence is too much. What's going on? This is crazy. Oh my God, everyone needs to calm down. Brothers and sisters, this has been ramping up for ages. It's been ramping up for fucking ages. This is not a new thing. This shouldn't be a shock. But it's also, I think, a reflection on like just how reckless and, crazy people are going with their rhetoric online. Not expecting any real life consequences. I feel like we live in consequence culture now, right? There was a time where we lived in like cancel culture, but I feel now we live in consequence culture. Yes, you're free to say what you want, but honestly, I don't have any patience with people who cry about receiving real life consequences for the thing they say. Should you be killed for having a really dicey opinion on politics? You're big up Abe Martinez.
Stop it, you never watched Charlie Cook, he didn't do THT.
Exactly. Big up Abe Martinez. I don't know. I find it all weird. I find it all strange.
I went into the mothership on Wednesday, and Ron White, Tony Hinchcliffe, Tim Dillon was there, Joe Rogan, and we were all in the room. And it was a funeral. It was so heavy. And
everyone had to pretend they were sad, innit? Even Tim Dillon had to pretend. Everyone had to pretend they were really sad. But if anything, they were really just scared. That's it. Everyone had to pretend they were sad Charlie Kirk passed away. But really and truly, because these guys are narcissists and shit, they were really more worried about themselves. They really think, oh shit, that could happen to him, that could happen to me. They didn't really care about him dying the way that he did, his family seeing it, what his friends would say, how his family, whatever. They didn't care about any of that sort of shit. The tragic nature of it all, the timing, blah, blah, blah. Nothing. What they were really sad about was the idea of them passing away. They kind of had a Bert Kreischer moment. Like, I don't want to die because if I die, life won't be awesome. Who will be there to take off their t-shirt? That's what they were fucking crying about.
It was so shocking.
I couldn't sleep Wednesday
This was a man who
I couldn't sleep Wednesday night. Fuck off, Brendan. I couldn't sleep. Get fucked, man. Get fucked. You probably didn't even know who he was a month ago. He probably didn't even know who the guy was a month ago. I couldn't sleep. Okay, whatever you say.
What he did was take his ideas and pit them against all comers. He debated in good faith. All Charlie Kirk was guilty of was expressing his point of view, his philosophy that he earned.
By the way, some of it was extremely racist. Some really dicey opinions out there. Not to say that he should be gunned down, but to act like he just sat there and did like questions and answers and shit, and it wasn't that crazy. It's fucking insane. Like, come on. I don't think anybody with common sense is justifying shooting somebody because they say something edgy. But let's also be honest and say, if you say something edgy that offends people, a certain community, then you shouldn't be surprised when some people get angry. The surprising thing about it is that the people he offended the most weren't the ones who ended up killing him. That's a really shocking thing. For me anyway. Especially because the kid comes from a conservative family. From a religious family. That's a really surprising thing for me. But still, let's not act like he was just doing a fucking, you know, a service to society. But I just ask it, like, brother, he was spewing some hatred. He was spewing some shit out there. Let's be real.
Through careful reading, through careful discussion, through taking his ideas, pitting them against opposing ideas. And that is all he ever did. And when you have somebody, and I'm gonna tell you what I really object to. When you have somebody on the news like that, I think his name is Stroud, that piece of shit from, I think, CNN, saying that he's practiced hate speech.
Oh, wow.
When you hear people talk about hate speech, guys, remember that the next thing coming out of their mouth is laws. Because when you talk about hate speech, what they really want to do is pass laws like they did in Canada.
Yeah, but I don't get what he's even talking about. Like, don't get me wrong, hate speech is like it's like an overused word, like problematic is, but did he say things that could be deemed as being hateful? Things that would, you know, spreading hate? Things that were spreading division? Was he really unifying the country? Let's be real. Was he trying to unify the country? Was he trying to bring people together really and truly? Or was he trying to really separate the right wing, the conservatives from everybody else and really highlight how different they were from everybody else and really kind of otherize the other side and villainize the other side? You know, come on, man, come on. I still don't understand this narrative that people have in America with the whole trans thing about the school shootings or the mass shootings in general. Like, I understand that maybe the last couple of shootings that took place, some of the shooters were what you would deem to be trans or whatever they may be, right? Identification wise. But I don't get how the government has convinced the American public that the issue with these mass shootings isn't an issue with the availability of guns, but it's an issue with trans people and the fact that they're crazy and they're unhinged and they can't be trusted around firearms. It's like, what? So now the issue that America has with mass shootings is to do with the trans community. It's to do with the access of guns, of the ease of which you can get the guns. That's not the point. They somehow blame trans people. It's like, what? It feels like a Dave Chappelle bit. Honestly, it feels like a Dave Chappelle bit that everyone's convinced themselves that trans people are the enemy. And it's tragic. It's tragic that fucking Charlie Kirk died answering that fucking question. Such a nonsense narrative that he answered and said, yeah, like, you know, too many. How many shootings happen because of trans people? Too many. As if, like, if they eradicate the trans community from the States, the school shootings would decrease considerably. Is that what people think? If they think if they kind of euthanize or if they fucking deport or imprison the entire trans community, that suddenly all the mass shootings will go down. I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
And other places in this world where you can't speak or you go to jail or you get literally arrested like they do in the UK, 12,000 arrests. Now, so I just want to say that, people want to...
Big up Abe Martinez. It has nothing to do with... It has more to do with mental health, not guns. It's not easy to get guns. Yeah, no, fair enough. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is mental health. But what I'm trying to say is that it's not to do with trans people, right? I think we could all agree that the problem that you guys have there in the States with guns and mass shootings probably isn't the fault of the transgender community. That's all I'm trying to say. But the government is trying to make it seem like the transgender community are the reason why mass shootings are what they are. Like, huh? What? I don't think that's true personally, but I could be wrong.
Find who to blame. Obviously, this kid, there was something wrong with him. Obviously, this kid's evil, whatever you want to call him. He came from, his dad was a cop, I believe.
Sheriff, yeah.
I mean, this kid came from a conservative, good family. He went to college, something happened. Maybe he lost his mind, whatever it is. But it is significant to me that it said, catch this fascist. Mm-hmm. And there's something called stochastic terrorism. Do you know what that is? Stochastic terrorism is the idea.
Brian's been reading some tweets. And probably watching some TikToks. He's learned a new word.
Idea that you keep catastrophizing the other side as truly evil. So when Joe Biden says that Donald Trump threatens the very foundations of our republic,
and he's Hitler.
When everyone who you know, from Kamala Harris to Tim Walz, these pieces of shit, keep calling Trump a fascist, keep calling all the people that Hitler a fascist, a Nazi. When they keep doing this, they know what they're doing. What they're trying to do is get Donald Trump and other people killed. That is what.
Jesus Christ, bro. Jesus Christ. What a massive logic jump. Is it a good thing to be referring to your political opponents as Hitlers, as a Hitler or something? Probably not. If they're not Hitler, they're not Hitler. Is it good to call out some of the things that they're doing? Yes. But is you calling out the things that they're doing and maybe pointing out the hypocrisy, the harm it's causing to the American public, is that you then trying to get them killed? That's insane. That's insane to suggest that. That's like suggesting every person that swats a streamer is trying to get them killed. No, I'm sure there are some that when they do the fake SWAT things, they are trying to, but most people that do SWATs on streamers are just trying to cause havoc. They're doing it for a fucking laugh. They don't really think anything past the original phone call that they put in. Honestly, Brian is like insane here. They're trying to kill them. It's like, really? Are they? Or they're just trying to point out the things that they're saying? I don't know.
Tim Walz is doing. That is what Kamala Harris is doing. That is what Joe Biden was doing. I really believe that now. And I'm done compromising. Now, having said all that, guys.
I'm done compromising, bro. You're a stand-up comedian. If anything, right? I'm not going to lie. I think, right? This is just my opinion. I think when something really crazy happens in politics or in the news, I think it's almost a responsibility for a comedy podcast to ignore it. I think it's their responsibility to ignore it. It doesn't matter if it's a terrorist attack. Doesn't matter if it's whatever. You should ignore it and just do your fucking show. Because people don't tune in to the Tfatk, to other fucking comedy shows, or, you know, whatever. I guess it's not a comedy show anymore because only one person does comedy. You don't tune into these shows for the news. You don't really give a shit what they think about politics, what they think about race, what they think about the culture, or the culture wars, or whatever. You don't really. I don't think you do. Or I'd hope you don't. You go to these guys for the ha-ha hee-hees. You go to these guys for the silly goose time. So I think it's actually, it should be like it should be a rule across the board that if something serious happens in the news and you've got comedy podcasts, you don't cover it. You just talk about the stuff you were going to talk about anyway. You start making jokes. You take people's minds off of things. You kind of, bring the temperature down, you know? You kind of, you know what I mean? That's what you're meant to do. You're not meant to sit there and be all serious and I couldn't sleep. I'm done compromising. They're trying to murder Donald. No. Just talk about the funny shit. Talk about the funny shit.
What's really important is we who oppose this, who believe in free speech, who believe in people being allowed to express their ideas, we have to hold ourselves to the highest standard. And I want to just say this. We haven't always. When Trayvon Martin was killed by Zimmerman, that piece of shit, that rent-a-cop, remember, bring up Trayvon Martin. I want to just show you something. This is important because we have to call our
What? Okay, he's definitely watching TikTok. People have been bringing this up, by the way.
Our side, whatever you want to call it. This is a 17-year-old kid he did nothing wrong. And that fucking guy right there, Zimmerman, okay?
Who was celebrated in a lot of right-wing circles. He was celebrated in a lot of right-wing circles, a lot of right-wing podcasts. They were celebrating this guy. They were putting him up on a pedestal. You know? So let's also correct that. Obviously, looking back is kind of crazy, but let's correct that narrative as well. A lot of platforms are celebrating this guy.
Dude who thought he was a cop shot him. Okay? And what happened after that, guys, is that his gun went for $250,000 and he went to gun shows and he was signing autographs. So if you were black or you were that kid's family, how would you feel? So we have to hold ourselves to a very high standard and we have to treat all.
Brendan's saying nothing, by the way. Brendan's saying nothing. Brendan's saying absolutely nothing on this topic. Yo, big up Andrew. Big up Andrew. Thank you for the super chat. Big up Andrew. Big up Blood Clot Andrew. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Big up Andrew. Big up Andrew.
All people who die unjustly, if they're black, whoever they are, with the same standard and the same revulsion and the same condemnation. You understand? It's really important. Otherwise, we lose the moral high ground. You have to stay on the moral high ground, man. And you got to stay George Zimmerman. Signing autographs at a gun show. Look at that shit. Killed an innocent 17-year-old. Fuck him and fuck all you guys trying to get an autograph. That is not who should represent the side that was on Charlie Kirk, the side that is on the side of truth and all that. You can understand how black people...
The side of truth, you know? By the way, why isn't Brendan saying anything? Brendan's not beating these like quasi-racist allegations. Why isn't Because this is actually a good segment from Brian. Big up Brian. It's a bit of a weird comparison. Because I think what he should have brought up that other thing people were doing, right? They were doing this challenge where they were acting like Trayvon Martin died. Like you got your hood and you lay on the floor, like how he got killed, with his kind of face on the ground. But big up Brian for making this comparison and calling out, quote unquote, both sides, right? But why is Brendan so quiet? Why isn't he saying anything?
How his parents feel when they see that, okay? They go, hold on, there's some hypocrisy here.
Still nothing from... This is probably the quietest I've ever heard Brendan. No interruption, no nothing. This is probably the quietest I've ever heard Brendan.
We don't want to be hypocritical. It's so important. So, you know, the way you win this is you take far left people. And you know who else I want to fucking talk about? The professors in these universities that are celebrating this shit and poisoning these kids. How about those people? And the way you deal with them, man, is...
I don't know, man. I don't think they're poisoning the kids. I think the kids are already somewhat poisoned, or they're already left-leaning from what they see online. I don't think they're If anything, I think it'll be the opposite. I think there are some kids who probably get influenced to go to the right if they have more liberal teachers. I don't think it works the other way around. Obviously, if you go to a liberal college, it's different, but I think most kids are quite smart and discerning, and they figure shit out for themselves. They don't need a professor to tell them about truth or whatever they think truth is. I think they usually make their mind up. So, but I think if you went for a college and your professor was extremely liberal or left-leaning, it would probably make you want to go to the right, to be honest. I know it wouldn't for me, you know what I mean? Because especially the teacher was fucking annoying. You'd be like, go fuck yourself. And you come in the next day with wearing a MAGA hat just to troll them.
As people who believe in America and tradition, you basically segregate them out of society. That's what I would do.
Fire them.
You don't get a job anywhere, motherfucker.
No, fire them.
You're celebrating of the death of a father in front of his children. You don't get a job.
But
and you're teaching these...
Jesus Christ. What kind of cancel culture is that? What type of extreme cancel? Didn't you get cancelled for an allegation and you don't have a Hollywood career now? You think you'd be a little bit more understanding of how crazy cancel culture can get, right? People in their hysteria now are celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, which is bad across the board. You shouldn't be doing that. But Brian should have more compassion and understanding for how crazy cancel culture could get, because according to Brendan, Brian was falsely confused of that fucking allegation, right? That was bullshit allegation. He did not rape that lady, allegedly, according to Brendan, right? So if that's the case and Brian lost everything because of that one allegation, he should probably be a little bit more understanding and compassionate about other people when they go through similar things. You would think so, right? You would think so.
Kids, fuck you too.
These lunatics that think by taking out Charlie Kirk, that's going to like stop the movement.
Oh,
my
what?
God.
Hey, bro.
You've created
I'm going to church now.
You've created
How about that?
10,000 more Charlie Kirks.
He heard that online for sure. You created 10 more Charlie Kirks. I don't think anyone that does that is trying to stop the movement, really. I think they're just trying to shut him up, you know? Even the symbolism, if you think about shooting someone in the neck. I would imagine the fucking shooter probably wasn't trying to stop Charlie Kirk or other Charlie Kirks from rising up. It's more so from stopping that particular person, I would assume, which is kind of crazy still. But hey, it is what it is. Interesting interpretation of how he looks at things.
It just makes it worse, you fucking moron.
You've taken a guy like me. I'm pretty moderate, dude. You know, my joke is if I went to a protest, my sign would say it's complicated. You know, I'm not the guy. You know me. I'm always I'm Switzerland.
Yep.
Always trying to see both sides. I'm no longer interested in talking to these fucking people with their septums pierced and their purple hair.
No,
but you don't talk to them anyway. What are you talking about? You don't talk to them anyway. You're in a safe space. You're in a bubble. You moved to fucking Texas for the most part. There's probably a lot of them there anyway. And also the shooter didn't have pink hair. Didn't have a septum. Yeah, he might have been gay or whatever, into trans people. but he wasn't. He didn't look like somebody that you would describe as being left-leaning or liberal. So that whole conversation, that whole narrative's gone out the window. Such a strange thing to say, anyway. Like, but hey,
I think after this, it's gone from left and right and good versus evil.
I would agree. I really agree. It's good versus evil, but we have to hold ourselves to the highest standard.
But it's good.
Good versus evil, and they think they're the good guys. Honestly, like, I don't know about you, but I never think I'm the good guy. I'm always questioning my intentions and my reason for things, you know? I'm never fully convinced that I have the answers, you know? You're always questioning your motives, your fucking rationale, you know, your bias. I'm always doing that. But these guys seem so sure. They're so sure that they are the good guys. They're so sure that they're the heroes, not the villains. They're the heroes in their heads and not the villains ever. How can they be? They're great guys, beasts of a guys, right? Allegedly.
Good versus evil. And I think the whole notion of, mental illness and he just needs more resources. Fuck off.
Yeah.
It's good and evil.
Yeah.
That's what it is now.
Yeah. But also we have to hold the people that the elite power structure that has been practicing stochastic terrorism, Tim Walz, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, the academics who are categorizing this, Donald Trump as a fascist, as a Nazi, those are the people that knew what they were doing, in my opinion.
Yo, big up Young Old Vibes. All my friends, all my white friends grew up super conservative, listening to their dad every night, and they all revolted and lived the most liberal lifestyle and married black guys, of course. Yeah, I love that, to be fair. That's actually really interesting how kids grow up, or kids in terms of their choices. Like, for instance, like the kid that grows up in a household with a single mom, maybe the mom's a drug addict or stuff, or lives a bit of a, you know, weird lifestyle. They usually grow up to be super traditional, super conservative. They have a loving family, you know? Like, I love how it works out the opposite way. Like a dad that drinks a lot, the kids grow up and they are completely sober. Like, I love how that works out. It does work out pretty well that way some ways, where a kid sees all that stuff from a young age and makes a decision not to repeat those same mistakes, you know? Not to be that person again. It's very interesting how that plays out. But I guess it must be very tense in America because the politics is such a, you know, it's in a very highly charged place. I can't imagine the fucking chaos it must cause in an American family that's conservative when one of your kids ends up being liberal. That must make the Christmas dinners and shit, Thanksgiving, so weird, bro. Imagine, like, because I know people in America have lost family members off of the fact that they voted for Trump or they post certain things on their social. Can you imagine if you're like a super conservative family, you're all Catholic or whatever, and then you have a kid that, you know, isn't religious in the slightest, doesn't, you know, isn't a fan of the current administration, very vocal about it, goes to protests and rallies, you know, whatever, all that shit. It must be so weird, so tense, so awkward, so hard to deal with.
It's their inadvertent way of ordering a hit.
How do you hold their feet to the fire? There's nothing.
You don't vote for them. You segregate them. You turn your back on them. You don't give them jobs.
The left's not going to do that. The right's already done that.
I think you're going to see. I hope you see.
I don't think so. Not
people
from the
who
left.
come over. No, the left is. They're lost though.
Yeah.
No, but it's not about the left. The violence is just going to increase, isn't it? The violence is just going to increase, unfortunately. Political violence doesn't stop. It just increases. It could stop if somebody was a grown-up in the room and decided to bring everyone together. Maybe the president, right? You, instead of stoking the fires, instead of whatever, you actually try to bring the country together. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. It's just going to keep ramping up. It's going to be a tit-for-tat thing until, you know, I don't know, civil war. I don't know. It's kind of sad, to be fair. We can all see it. We can all see it happening in the future again. No one is going to be surprised it happens in the future again. It'd actually be surprising if it kind of stops now. If somehow everyone kind of gets, because I think the guy, Tyler Robinson, has been charged with capital murder charges. He's up for the death penalty. So maybe people seeing that is going to make people a bit, you know, I don't think so, but who knows? That might make the temperatures, you know, calm and cool a bit. But I think it would be helped if the administration, if the president, whoever, will try and bring the country together. But that seems to be a very foreign concept, or people are just past it now. I think people don't really have the concept of bringing themselves together or sitting at a table and discussing things. I think it's just your way or the highway, really, when it comes to a lot of the political discourse, unfortunately.
They're lost. They're also bankrupt shitheads. You ever see most of these people?
Oh, yeah.
You see what they look like physically even?
Yeah.
So.
You see what he looked like physically. Oh, no, here we go. He's just been ranting about politics and the state of the world. Is Brian going to start shilling for Magic Mind? Is Brian going to start shilling for Magic Mind? I was really depressed. I'm really sad about Charlie Kirk's passing. And the only thing that really took my mind off things that made me calm down and see things clearly was Magic Mind. Is he going to do that?
Powerful bunch.
Yo, big up Asad Aziz. I appreciate you.
It's good versus evil now, B. We thought it was Superman, but found out it's Batman.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Big up Asad Aziz.
Sorry, man. That's all I'm going to say about it. But
yeah, all of it's sad.
It broke my heart.
Yeah.
Magic Mind.
Fucking kids and...
There's no Magic Mind Max. I guess I'll have the Magic Mind.
Fucking hell. Disgusting, man. Yuck. He's even ashamed. Look at him. He's looking down. He's not even looking at the camera. Even he's ashamed. Oh, my God. Just got speaking passionately about the state of the country, the tragic death of Charlie Kirk, the political fucking violence, the left going too far, him being sad, blah, 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 blah. Magic Mind. Max Magic Mind. Honestly, so shameless. So shameless. So grifty nifty. Yay, 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 yay.
Huh?
Oh, it's right there. Max is right there.
Oh, there you go. I was going to do it free.
Let me take a piss.
All right. Come on.
I'll tell you what's interesting too is you'll see. So now the Charlie Kirk movement, there's been petitions now where they're what he did on campus on those open debates, which is what we need. That's how you figure things out. Now they have over 75,000 offers to expand that and keep doing it. You're not going to.
They have 75,000 offers for what?
To go on college campuses and like keep doing the breaking points, the turning points.
Are we sure?
Points, You're not going to replace Charlie Kirk.
No.
You're just not. And that's the bummer.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able
prodigy.
Wicked smart, guys like Ben Shapiro, like all.
He knows nothing about him, man. He knows nothing about him. He just discovered who he was when he got killed.
You have a gun?
Yo, big up NJ Ranger.
Judas complaining about the usage of the term fascist, then immediately turns around and says, "You see what they look like," essentializing his enemies.
You see what they look like. They can't do press-ups. They've got septums. They color their hair. They wear crop tops. They paint their nails. Some of the girls even have hairy armpits. Some of the girls even have hairy armpits. How dare they? How dare they? Oh, big up NJ Ranger. This is fucking brilliant, man. This is fucking brilliant.
Take over. It's like, and Ben's smart, but he's not Charlie Kirk.
He's not as
and that's what you're
charismatic.
going to lose.
He's not charismatic.
That's what you're going to lose.
Charlie Kirk was 6'5" and like just different charisma.
Jesus. Oh my God. This 6'5". What does his height have to do with anything? Honestly, what is this obsession with people's builds and physique? Charlie Kirk was 6'5", hung like a horse. Like Callan, bro. Like, yuck. Ugh, man. You're out here taking, I don't even think even a liberal person would say this. Fucking hell. That's the gayest thing I've ever heard.
But let me ask you this, to me, as I watch him, he burns so bright. And at 31,
are you for fucking real? Charlie Kirk, the white Malcolm X. Get fucked, mate. Get fucked. Oh, what? Charlie Kirk is the white Malcolm X. I didn't know that. For real. This is fucking crazy.
Or Martin Luther King. There's footage, right? And I'm not saying he's like those guys.
Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. How are you saying it then? Jesus Christ.
Just at your fingers.
But you don't have all the access. I was a Charlie Kirk member. I listened to all this shit.
No, you weren't. 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 Bring the receipts. Bring the fucking receipts. No way you were a member. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe he watched a single episode of the Charlie Kirk show, podcast, whatever. I don't believe it. I don't believe you watched a single full episode of his debates on Jubilee. I don't believe you watched a single fucking talk or speech he gave at Turning Points. I don't believe it. Bring receipts about a member. You found out about him the day that he died. Come on, man.
I mean, there's thousands and thousands of hours to educate you on what he believed in, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right. And he's become, I think that in a way, if Charlie Kirk, I wish to God he was still alive, of course, and especially for his children, his wife, but I think if he had...
I wish to God, is he a Christian now? Is Callan a fake Christian now? Fucking hell. The pipeline from rapists, alleged rapists to Christian, is fucking hilarious. Always. Kiddie diddling and Christianity, alleged rape and Christianity. The through line is fucking insane. That pipeline is never ending. There's always somebody passing through there, right? To seek redemption, to seek forgiveness. God almighty.
If he had become, at the age of 40, he would have definitely run for president or something. But I think a great deal of what this is he did so much. And part of what he drives his legacy is being killed so tragically at 31.
Well, unfortunately. But also the reason why they...
Do you say unfortunately or unfortunately? Was that or unfortunately?
His legacy is being killed so tragically at 31.
Well, unfortunately. But also...
He said unfortunately. Unfortunately. Not unfortunately. Unfortunately. Brilliant. Brilliant shit.
What he did drives his legacy is being killed so tragically at 31.
Well, unfortunately. But also the reason why they took him out is you got to realize he was the most influential person on the right with the young demo.
Oh, of course.
But you're not even remotely close.
And why?
So that's what they took out, because they know the young audience is the future of
Because
America.
he got into the belly of the beast. He took this shit.
He was also younger and could relate to him. He was good at social media. So they took a fucking shining star.
Did you see like how many now young people identify as, to the right?
Honestly, this fake fucking outrage and sympathy is fucking hilarious, man. Just say you didn't really know, like, what is wrong, honestly? What is wrong with just saying you didn't really know much about him before he passed, but now learning more about what he said and actually listening to some of the clips of the speeches he gave and the talks that he gave and some of the controversial opinions, I now see, like, a lot of good in what he said. I now relate to a lot of stuff. I think he was whatever. But they're lying and acting like they were big fans of his. When I don't think they ever really mentioned Charlie Kirk before he passed away, honestly. I think they might have mentioned Ben Shapiro more, but Charlie Kirk has always been in the news. He's always been controversial. He's always been in the forefront of the culture wars. He's always been there. So if you know about him, you know about him. And if you didn't know about him, you speak about him on your show. You speak about the Jubilee fucking interviews, the other interviews on podcasts that he's had, contentious interviews, the fucking debates that he's had on college campuses where he's dunked on college kids, where college kids have dunked on him. You will speak about all those viral moments because there's been very, many, many viral moments. But they've never mentioned it. And now all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, I'm a member. I'm sad. He was Malcolm X. He was this. He was that. Brother, you just learned about him yesterday. Like, oh my God, the bandwagoning on Charlie Kirk is wild, bro. Just admit you found out about him the other day. It's okay. You can still feel sad for him dying. You can still feel sad about it. But you don't need to lie and act like you've been a big fan from the beginning. No, you weren't.
I mean, whatever they thought they were going to do, they poked that big bear.
And it's like obviously you're missing the captain of the team, the captain of the ship.
Yeah.
But his wife and all that, like, she's a beast too. So that's going to carry on.
Boy, she's a beast, by the way.
Tough lady.
She's no joke.
She's a beast. What a great way to describe somebody. She's a beast. She's a beast. Yeah, I'm sure she's going to be happy with that fucking, with that endorsement.
Powerful bunch.
Big up Asad Aziz.
I'm over listening to the two idiots. Odin, take me now. I can't wait for the day it's just me, Kash Patel, and George Floyd chilling in Valhalla.
Oh, you gotta love Kash Patel. Big up Kash Patel being in some fancy Italian restaurant on the day that fucking, while the investigation is going on. He went to a fucking fancy Italian restaurant. Big up Kash Patel. Obviously not working around the clock like he says he is, not burning the midnight oil. He's out with dinner. He's out on dinner with his fucking Mossad honeypot fucking wife or girlfriend. Fucking hilarious.
So what is this?
It choked me out when did you watch her?
Yeah, dude, it was awful.
When she had the daughter asked, "Where's daddy?"
It was so awful, dude. I can't take it. But we have children, man.
Sleep.
We have children. Sleep. Unless you have kids.
But that loser, you know,
I couldn't sleep. I can't talk. I couldn't sleep. I can't talk. I couldn't sleep. Love it.
That dates the trans, just a fucking piece of shit. It's like, buddy, do you know the ripple effect of this? So those kids are going to grow up without a dad.
He'll live with that. He'll live with that. He'll come to that realization while he's rotting away. But I want to know the people that poisoned his brain too. I want to know who did that too. What is this here?
This is Kash Patel, who's kind of...
There's a Discord chat?
Yeah, Kash Patel's been a little sloppy, because did you first see it, B?
No.
When they said they apprehended the shooter?
Oh, say that again? Apprehend?
See it, B?
No.
When they said they apprehended the shooter, and they showed like this old...
English be kicking his ass, boy.
Old bald guy.
Yes,
like,
yes. Well, that was the authority, yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
Play the clip.
Scroll back though, so people know what we're watching. It says new FBI director Kash Patel reveals Charlie Kirk's assassin, piece of shit, refused to say his name. Discord group.
That's the protest. That's a little protest there. I'm not gonna say his name. The big Tfatk K, the big show Tfatk K. He's not gonna say his name. He's not gonna say Tyler Robinson, right? Let's not bring him any attention. I'm sure he's heartbroken, right? I'm sure Tyler's heartbroken that Tfatk K isn't saying his name. That's what he wanted. Oh, fucking no. These guys, man. The ego is brilliant. His name is all over CNN. His name is all over Fox. His name is all over all these other shows and shit. But he's not getting a shout out on fucking Tfatk K. That's what really matters.
Include more than 20 members. He confirms authorities are aggressively investigating and many of these co-conspirators will be questioned. Questioned? What do you mean? Fucking arrest them.
Well, there's only arrest if they actually talk about killing him, right?
Well, duh. You can't just round up people that are in a group with some guy that's a psycho. Like, what the fuck, bro? Just arrest them. Just arrest them. Fucking hell, bro. He said the left were fascists, isn't it? No? I thought the left were fascists. Now all of a sudden, just arrest them. Arrest anybody that was in his fucking orbit. Anybody that crossed paths with him, arrest them.
They're actively planning on
and that's probably
an assassination.
That's probably what it is, Brian. Yeah,
huh?
Yeah, it's probably what it is in that group.
Yeah,
Discord.
we'll see.
Yeah. So going back to the group chats real quick, there's more than 20 individuals. We, the FBI, are running the investigation.
Oh, by the way, all those people on Discord, I know you guys think that you're tough. I know you guys think. Wait till those.
What? Who's on the Discord thinking they're tough? They think they're edgy. They think they're trolling. Tough. You think you're tough. You're the one always talking about men's bodies and boxing when you're fucking 72 and doing wrestling and shit. Tough. I don't think Discord guys think they're tough. I think they just think they're being trolls and they're being edgy. Tough, you know. That's projection.
FBI dudes show up at your door. Wait till you see what happens.
No, see, I don't think none of these guys think they're tough. Like, you've never seen anybody do a mass shooting or that tries to assassinate somebody. They're never tough.
No.
They're never in shape.
No.
They're never tan.
No.
They're never worried about their health.
Things aren't going very well.
They're losers by every metric that a human being can be.
Also goes to
they're losers.
That also goes for all the people celebrating his death. If you look at them, like the guy who got fired at Microsoft, who was head of their DEI.
Yeah, dude.
You see that guy?
All of them. Yeah, all of them.
They're just they can't even control their own biology. They can't even control their own bodies, much less the world. Like, worry about yourself, bro. You are.
Look in the mirror.
Are not doing.
I've never seen a person on the left who's
Kirk would say that to these people would come up to him and they'd have like they'd just look like a mess physically, and he'd go, you look like you're having a hard time, and he said it with love.
I know.
He said, you look like you're having a hard time.
He said it with love. Yeah, I'm sure he did. That doesn't sound like a really cunty and a mean thing to say, right? That doesn't sound like an absolute horrible thing to say. So unless somebody's saying something to you that's rude, just saying to somebody you look like you're having a hard time doesn't come across mean at all, does it? That's not mean-spirited. That's really nice, right? That's being considerate. I mean it with all sincerity. You look like you're having a really hard time. You look like a bum.
What's this, Jen?
All right. Going back to the group chats real quick, there's more than 20 individuals.
His eyes are funky,
But this
huh?
is a great point.
I was gonna ask you that.
Looking
how
up.
this works.
Looking
People
at the
think
wrong-
No,
you
he's
can just
crossing
get in
that.
these group chats and immediately find out who's in them. And our investigation, our interviews continue, but we've learned some shocking things when we spoke to his family and friends as well.
Cash Patel's eyes are a little wonky. But I like that because
the
a chip
key
on his
thing
shoulder.
that- wow.
You don't want him too handsome.
Yeah, the key.
You want a chip on his shoulder and get to the bottom of this investigation.
the key
even if you're seeing double. Look at his eyes.
There is something going on there. Now
It's
the
not
key.
like cross. It's more like it's kind of looking.
They're just a
elsewhere.
little off.
Yeah,
Just
it's
watch
looking
Brian.
elsewhere.
Watch Brian.
Chin, don't talk, Chin. Chin, don't throw stones in glass houses, Chin. When you take off your glasses, your eyes are mad cross-eyed too. Come on, Chin. Let's not start throwing stones. Don't be pot kettle black shit. When you take off those glasses of yours, your eyes are doing that Macarena. Let's be fair. Your eyes are doing the Macarena. One eye's doing the Macarena, the other eye's doing the Harlem Shake. Let's relax.
Might be tired. Might be tired.
You know what? It's not that
Could
they're
be
like.
the camera. Could be the camera.
It's not like this.
It's not like this or this.
No,
it's like
this.
Yeah, there's some stuff going on.
It's like, you know what he is? He's zeroing in on the suspect. That motherfucker has his eyesight set on the suspect. That's what it is.
Something's
His
up.
eyes are funky, and that's all good. I don't want to you don't want him to look like fucking George Clooney. You want a chip on his shoulder, and he's hunting down these criminals.
Handsome guy, strong jaw. You know.
Yeah, his eyes are
Good hair.
fucking bizarre.
Yeah. Bring up another picture of Cash Patel. I want to see if that's just we're just looking at. I think he might be looking up.
No, he's always had funky
Let me
eyes.
see. Let me see.
You know me, I'm an eye guy.
Yeah.
Well, there's fine.
Yeah.
Zoom in. It's not fine. There's still a little.
That one's in, but those are good eyes.
The right one's a little in. Too
You
much.
can kind of tell here
those are good
something's
eyes.
going
No, his
on.
eyes are funky, dude. It's all good.
Let me
You
see.
want that
No,
as an
hold on.
FBI leader.
This is fake news. Let me bring up. There you go. Let me see that.
Show that one.
Let me see that.
This one's fine.
The right, no, they're not fine. The right is.
Big up MJ.
These guys are the kings of confirmation bias. The guy they're ball washing as a paragon of truth was just yesterday telling us that Jeffrey P. acted alone and didn't traffic any girls to anyone else.
Exactly.
Maroons.
Exactly. I don't know. I just feel sad for the actual Tfatk fans, the actual fans who like this show, because God Almighty, man, what the fuck is this like? Meant to be if it's not a comedy show, forget comedy, right? Because only Brian does stand up. It's not fair to say it's a comedy show. It's not a comedy podcast. But it is centered around having a silly goose time. Two friends fucking around, larking around, having a laugh, having a bit of a jolly. Where's the jolly? Where's the laugh? Where's the jolly? Where's the laugh? Honestly, I think as a rule, this is my thing now. As a rule, I think if you've got a comedy podcast, it's almost your duty to not talk about the news, to not be serious. Every time you turn on, every time you press record, every time you click start streaming, you have to come with the jokes. You have to come with the funnies. Especially if there's a serious topic going on in the news. You have to make light of it. You have to create some fucking laughter. You have to take people's minds away from it or off from it. You have to. That's your fucking role in the society. If you're going to be a fucking gesture and a fucking class clown, that's what you should be doing. Not pontificating about this and that and that and this, and no one wants to hear it from you. You're fucking dumb. You're uninformed. You're barely fucking, you're barely fucking listenable in the first place. The last thing we want to do is listen to you talking about a subject that you're not well versed in. Please.
Two in.
Man, I don't know. You're dissing
He
the
has
FBI.
one sniper eye, but it's in because he has his eyes.
Let me see that one. That one. Bring that up.
Those are normal?
Yeah, I think those are pretty.
It's like an eagle.
What'd you say?
Like a bald eagle? You know what I'm talking about?
That's exactly what it should. You ever seen an eagle straight on? Go to an eagle.
Yeah.
So B, if you're aiming right now, right? It's this size fine, and this one's a little. Hey, look at it. It's a little like this.
One might be a little bit like there it is. Okay, so
actually, the eagles look better.
Yeah,
the eagle's more. I'm telling you, you want.
It's going to be very interesting to see.
You want that.
It's going to be very interesting to see like what in the world happened. What this kid who
like
probably
this.
had some kind of hero complex. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
All right, we're off the subject. His eyes are fucking wonky, but I'm telling you, you want that chip on your shoulder, man. You don't want to be too perfect.
A little bit.
Yeah, get after it, dog.
Get after it.
Sure,
Let's take a little break. I want to.
Okay. There we have it. Tfatk's opinion on the shooting of fucking Charlie Kirk. there we have it. There we have it. There we have it. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you got a lot of enjoyment from it. I don't know what the fuck these guys are talking about, but it is what it is. But it is what it is. Okay, people. I've got to go to the gym. Appreciate all of you for tuning in. Smash the like button down below. Click subscribe and all that shit. Blah, 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 blah. Become a member. I'm going to hit 500 members by the end of the 31 days. So become a member. I'll be back again later on this evening about maybe 1 a.m. To do another episode of the Random Show. That'll be obviously for the marathon. That'll be day 19, I think, coming up at 1 a.m. Day 19, 1 a.m. my time. So come around for that. There'll also be a Taz in between when I come back. So keep an eye out for that as well. But I appreciate all of you. Thank you for tuning in. Smash the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see the rest of you guys tomorrow. I'll see the rest of you guys later on. I'll see you later, tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. Be well, be safe. Peace.